Hello? I decided I'm not gonna make you wait that long because I was just sitting here in my new chair, that has a little leg rest, and I love this so much. It's such a good chair. Hello? Look at my chair, it's pink. I can already tell that this chair is not gonna last a very long time. I can tell it is like cheap. It's like cheap plastic. But I'm known to take very good care of my things. So things that are not supposed to last a very long time, I typically can make last a very long time. And I love my leg rest. I'm popping it out. It also, I wish I could actually show it to you because I can't. The way that it works is you can fold it in and completely store it so that the chair is just a chair without a leg rest. Or you can pull it out, you can flip it, and then you can push it right up against the seat. So you just have like a little bit of a leg rest. So I like sitting crisscross, but like I get to extend my legs a little bit farther, or I get to hang one off the end. You can't see it though, which is silly. Or you can extend the leg rest all the way out so that my little feet are completely all the way out and I can slide myself under my desk and my feet touch the wall, but they're completely straight out right now. I can sit with my legs completely straight out, completely pulled up to the desk, and I can play Minecraft. I can bend my legs, I can rest them, I can put them in between the little gap if I want one leg down, one leg up. But I can tell it's a bit creaky. When I lay my legs down on it, it does like kind of dip, so I don't know how long it's gonna hold up against me. I don't weigh that much, but I just don't know if this chair is built for too much movement. It's also, it's plastic. It isn't entirely a high quality chair that will last me many years, but for the price that it is, if it even lasts me one, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty happy about that. I don't mind. Maybe in a year I'll have a bigger apartment. I could get that big one that reclines and has a massager in it, and a cup holder. But for now, I at least hope it lasts a year, because some of the reviews said it started going after a few months. I hope that it's not only lasts a few months, but I'll keep you updated in the chair business. Keston X, thank you for the Prime. KJS Extreme, thank you for subscribing. Thanks for being here. I decided I wasn't going to do the Lego today, only because I don't have a little second camera set up to do the Lego building. But we're going to do this next week. Or this weekend. I don't know if I have a plan for a stream this weekend. I might. I don't remember. I have a plan for tonight that I forgot about, and I was about to make new plans for tonight, so I just truly don't know. I don't write things down. But we'll do that soon. We will do the Lego building soon. I cannot wait. But today we're going to read Am I the Asshole? We're going to try to find the messiest ones, see if we can be of help, and we're going to just, judge. We're going to judge strangers on the internet because that's what they posted for the purpose of. Also, did you see my MCC team? For Scuffed MCC? I love it. I made my icon my Discord icon because it's so silly. I was in England when Scott started drawing them, and it was so much fun to watch him doodle just the ugliest little things. Is that a fringe or bangs? If I'm honest, I think yes to both. Am I wrong that bangs are a type of fringe, but not all fringe are bangs? Is that how it would work? Bangs are fringe, but fringe aren't all bangs. That's my opinion. That's my personal opinion. So in this case, I'd say yes to both. They're supposed to be bangs, but you can tell my middle part just doesn't really truly want to make that happen. Oh, I did it. Ow, ow, one's in my eye. Ow, I can't find where he's poking me from. It's a dilemma. I can already tell after 2 days, I cut them like 2 days ago, they've already grown to the point where I'm like, it's definitely, I have to cut them again. It's already definitely, isn't bangs and fringe the same thing? I would argue there's some fringe that I wouldn't call bangs, because I think, like just the front parts of your hair, if you have, I guess curtain bangs are also bangs though, they're just a different type. But I think if you had like side swept, any like front hair bits are fringe. My nails are crusty, ew. I don't know. I'd call these bangs, definitely. If they go absolutely in front of your face, they're definitely bangs. Even before, when I had curtain bangs, they were bangs too, even though they weren't in the front of my hair. You have a fringe, do you not? I have bangs, which I believe are also the same thing as fringe. What's fringe, if not bangs? I don't know. These are definitely bangs. If I think it's both, because I think they're maybe just the same thing. I couldn't tell you. But they are definitely bangs, at the very least. Dusty, dusty. Maybe I should fix these tonight, because I'm supposed to be going somewhere, and, that's not... Well, you can't see it. It's because I do so many things with, like, these nails, like, I'm opening stuff, that these ones get the crustiest, and these ones are fine. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, it matches my top. Oh, sick. Oh, that's awesome. Couldn't tell you. Dunno. But, not the way Jodo said she might not have signed up for MCC and Shelby's mods spoiling it. My mods didn't know anything about it. What did you spoil? I don't think that's even possible because my mods don't know things. They don't get to know spoilers. Well, they do, of my own personal lore for like witchcraft and empires. They're allowed to know things. But they don't know MCC secrets. They didn't know it was on Twitter. Oh. Oh, so you didn't spoil anything because it was on Twitter. I was like, you guys don't know things that are secret. That's not even possible. You can't spoil stuff that you never knew. I knew. I knew about it. I always know things. I know stuff. I know secrets. Well, I guess now that's the last one that I knew. I think. Am I storing anything? Other than my own lore, which I'm always storing. And it's so hard for me to just not spill the beans of everything I've ever had as an idea for my characters. But I did know way long ago about Scuffed MCC. And now it's announced, so I don't think there's anything else that's somebody else's secret that I'm not allowed to tell. Probably. Maybe not. Well. I guess I should start pulling up Am I the Asshole threads, because I haven't even gotten that up. I had like a thing that I wanted to mention. I should write stuff down. I really should start writing stuff down. Was it something new to show off? No. Oh well. I don't remember. It's gone. Grain. You should put grain in the command, actually. That'd be really funny. Tell me why Scott doesn't have a doodled icon for the announcement. I didn't know he was doing that. Tell me why his looks just the exact same, because he didn't draw himself a scuffed one. What the heck is up with that? Okay. I'll start putting aside the ones that look good and juicy and ready to be read and judged. I can't believe that yesterday's stream on Empires was mostly just us talking about bad words. And also just talking the whole time. Didn't do anything. Although now, Whip has a plan for the center of spawn, so the next Empire stream I do, I'm gonna be in the mangrove getting him mud. As much as I can get him. But, oh. I did it. I just have to keep... I think I have to pull more from here. And then cut those. Uh-oh, I've made a mistake. I think that's... Oh no, oh god. I think that's how I get them to be bangs that aren't still split down the middle. Why are bangs so much work? Every morning I have to like re-wet my bangs, re-blow dry them out. And now this hair's on the wrong side. What have I done? Help. But now... Yeah, I don't know how long this is gonna last for. It's just so much work. Jojo Suyos. That's how I would read it if there wasn't an L. Yeah, Twitter did her dirty by changing their font so that you can tell the difference. Although, to be fair, probably should have been a thing that you could tell the difference between an uppercase I and a lowercase L. But, did her dirty. Every time I've gotten bangs, I regret it. So high maintenance. I just love the look so much, though. And you will not caught me dead in clip-in bangs. So I don't know. I guess every like week, I feel like I'm gonna need to whip the scissors out to keep them because I don't want them any shorter than this, but if they get even any longer from growing for even a few days, they're poking me in the eyes, so. And also blow drying them every day. I could put them to the side. They're long enough where I can make them be little side bangs. Not quite curtain bang anymore. They're a little too short for that. I was gonna do witchcraft today, but because I have something later, I don't want to put my headphones on top of my hair because I don't want it to do like the weird thing to my hair and then I have to go fix it. I didn't want to have to do that, so I just wanted to do a nice little chatting stream in my new chair. But I was gonna do witchcraft because last night I was on for a few hours mining in the nether. I don't know when or where I got it, but I got a ring for mining that in like an 11 by 11 cube eliminates all vanilla blocks. So in the nether I was doing that to get myself, or like most of vanilla blocks. It was leaving behind all of the ores, all of the netherite, ancient debris, whatever. So I was doing that so that I could get nether gobber ore, so that the next time we stream, we can go in the end and get myself the end gobber armor and tools and weapon. And I got a lot of the nether gobber ore. So I was gonna stream that. I think I'll do that Sunday, because I think I'm not gonna be live tomorrow. I think I'll be live Sunday. But I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe it will be tomorrow, but early. I don't know yet. But we will be doing witchcraft soon because I'm ready for the next step of... I still need to find a sparking gem, and I found a dungeon last night also that I was raiding, and it was the worst loot ever. It was just an enormous amount of iron and gold. Diamonds and emeralds, which were good. I was able to buy another Fortune 5 book to put on my nether gobber pick, which I need to get end gobber, so I have Fortune already ready for that. But that was it. That was it. That was all the loot. A few books. Nothing modded at all. So it was kind of lame. I don't know where to find the sparking gem. I hope they're done with that construction sometime soon. You don't like to blow dry every day, do a Velcro roller for 30-ish minutes. I guess while I'm doing my makeup, if I had a roller in my hair, just like one fat one. Maybe. I feel like I'd still have to whip out the blow dryer though. I feel like that would just help it. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I don't need the heat. My brain stopped. I'm the nicest possible gal. I try really hard to be. I just really want to be nice to people. I just try really hard to be nice to people. It makes me happy. It started out of spite. And then I was like, wait, this is good. No, I always wanted to be nice to people, but can we start judging people yet? Yeah, we can. Anyways, let's start judging. Storm Rainer, thank you for the prime. Appreciate you. Ooh, okay. I'm not gonna pick a theme of like specifically bad relationships or bad roommates or bad family members. I'm just gonna pick the ones that have a title that I immediately won't know. Even if it's bait, I just can't tell which way. This one is, am I the asshole for telling my brother that he didn't need to share that his wife was in labor at my wedding? I feel like that would be okay because you can't really like postpone the fact that that's happening. I feel like he's got to go, right? But I don't... was it told at the wedding in a way that was less favorable? Like, it depends. It really depends, but I really don't know. This could really go either way. So that's the kind of ones I'm going to pull out. I'm going to read a few more so I can just, like, open tabs of the next few. Would I be the asshole for not returning a $1,000 gift given to me by my coworkers for my baby? Okay, I do have to know what that's about. Am I the asshole for pointing out my partner's hypocrisy when it comes to money? That just sounds like fun. All of these are good ones, I think. These might be good. Am I the asshole for keeping my daughter away from my sister-in-law? Wait, I want to read this one. Am I the asshole for forcing my husband off the toilet? Let's start there. What? Excuse me? How long was he there for? And you forced him off? I'd love to know. Thank you. I will do that. $1,000 gift for a baby. Honestly, that... And they said for their baby, which makes me think there is no baby. But also, yeah, $1,000. I mean, not actually that out of question. Because it sounds like it was all of their coworkers collectively. And stuff for a new baby is expensive. If it maybe was this massive, huge, state-of-the-art changing table that the entire office pitched in for, then I could see $1,000 gift. It wasn't only one individual, I think. It was a group of people. But let's start with it. Am I the asshole for forcing my husband off the toilet? My husband, 40 male, and I, 37 female, live in an apartment with only one bedroom. In the morning, he spends upwards of 40 minutes going to the bathroom, sitting on the toilet, answering Oh. That's a tight living space for 2 people. Loads of people do it, but you gotta be aware of the fact that you're living with someone in a tiny apartment with only one shared bathroom. The answering emails and scrolling social media can happen anywhere. It doesn't have to be on the toilet. But I understand also that that's like people's time for looking at Twitter and things and reading emails. But like move it somewhere else if you're not actually actively needing the toilet and maybe your partner is. I see where this is going now. Scrolling social media and also, of course, actually using the bathroom. To be very, very clear, he does not have any Instagram issues that require that amount of time on the toilet. It is purely a me time thing. I get that. It just doesn't have to be happening on the toilet. The issue is that I too need to use the toilet in the morning. We have virtually the same diet, so it should come as no surprise that I generally have to use the bathroom at around the same time that he does. Nearly every morning I have to text my husband. Why are you texting him in a 1-bedroom apartment? You can just say it out loud at a normal volume and he'll hear you. I have to text my husband and ask if he's almost done, which is frankly annoying and embarrassing. I know everyone poops, but I don't love having to broadcast it and beg to use the bathroom nearly every day. The thing that bothers me about issues like this is that they don't think of the other person. Like, it's not a thought at all in their mind that every single day they're not catching this pattern of, oh man, I've spent too long in here, she needs the bathroom. And it's happening every single day and you haven't noticed. You haven't spared a thought for that every morning, maybe being a little bit, maybe you don't need to be on the toilet scrolling your Twitter. You can let your wife be on the toilet and you can go in the kitchen and make that your place for me time. I don't know. I'm bothered for the not even a thought spared. Where'd I asked him directly about it. He says that he's usually done within a few minutes. That doesn't sound like that's true. Oh, but he likes having some time to himself. I don't understand why he can't have alone time virtually anywhere else besides the one spot in our apartment that can't be shared and is essential. I've told him that I'll leave him alone, so I'll leave him alone. Can you please do that somewhere else? And he says it's not the same. He should sit outside. He should sit outside. That's like a great alternative. Get a little bit of sun. Get a little bit of air. You are completely on your own. No one will bother you. I know you're not in an enclosed room where you're like maybe private, but I feel like that's like this. If you don't want to be in the house, in like all of the other places that are shared, you don't want to go in the bedroom. You don't want to go in the kitchen. That's not the same as the bathroom. I feel like outside. Go on a little walk. I don't know. But of course, he's also going to say, but it's not the same. I recently asked him if he could limit his time on or let you go first. How about you go first? Bro. I recently asked him if he could limit his time on the toilet to 10 minutes. I said it's embarrassing to be really needing to go to the bathroom and have to beg him to hurry up or have to use a public bathroom nearby our home. That's unacceptable. That's unbelievable. She's leaving the house to use the bathroom when he's not even needing the bathroom. You married him? Oh. Oh no. That's when it's gone a step too far. He should be letting you go first. Take as long as you need. And then also I can imagine that he'll be like, you're taking too long and I need to poop now. And then maybe he'll get it though, because they don't get it. Sometimes. Not all of them. They don't get it until it happens to them. There are so many people that are this way that they don't understand until it's them. Right? He said I was being an asshole for trying to control his bathroom time, but I think he's being an asshole for picking the one place in our apartment That's very necessary to have alone quality time. That's very necessary to have alone quality time. Am I the asshole? No. He's the asshole for ever letting you, ever allowing his partner to be in such an uncomfortable position to leave the home to use a bathroom down the street in a public place. Bro, that's upsetting. That's so bad. Kind of gross, though, to be honest, to sit on your phone on the toilet for that long. Also, can we talk about how dirty your phone is for that exact reason? It's coming with you in all of these places. Every doorknob that you've ever touched anywhere is on your phone. Every time you've used the bathroom and then you grab your phone. Clean your phones. Genuinely clean your phones regularly. 100% necessary. I need to turn the heat off. Let me slide my leg rest in. I love it so much. You know, he's the asshole, and I'm worried about him not... Here's the big issue. You're married already, and he's already not willing to compromise, like, even a teeny bit, to the point where he is completely comfortable allowing you to leave the house to use the bathroom, and not change anything about what he's doing at all, over such a little thing? That's not a good sign. Like, this shouldn't be an issue. This is the most non-issue, that it should be so easy for your partner to be like, you're right. Or just let her go in to do what she needs to do, and then he can go back in. I don't know. It just sounds like he's not willing to even budge a little bit, and then called her an asshole, even though he is not offering even the slightest amount of compromise. No thought to how awful it is to make your wife walk down the street just to use the bathroom when you're not even actually using it. You're just sitting on your phone on Twitter. I don't feel hopeful. if even this small thing is making him call you an asshole and he's not even budging in the slightest, that doesn't bode well for your marriage, sadly. Oop. Let's read the comments. Not the asshole. This is absurd behavior. It feels like such a small thing that should not be an issue, but also I'm like, this is absolutely an absurd thing. I don't understand why it's such a common thing for dudes to do. What is so goddamn appealing about sitting on the toilet of all places in the house? His desire to use the shitter as some kind of lounge. I hiccup. Why does that happen to me? Some kind of lounge does not trump your need to actually shit. And the bizarre thing that isn't obvious to him. That's what's upsetting, is that it's no thought spared for his lovely wife that he has to share such a tiny place with. Oh my goodness. Throw him out. Throw the whole one out. Get another. This one's no good. I was gonna say, also, if it's taking you actually that long to poop, like 40 minutes, that's not good, and you should talk to your doctor. It's not good for you to be sitting that long trying to poop. Somebody else in the comments said, when we were living in a 2-bed, 1-bath, I got a knock on my door one morning. It was my next door neighbor frantically asking to use our bathroom because her hubby had locked himself in theirs with the Sunday paper. Why is this a thing? This shouldn't be a thing. And that's even a 2-bedroom house. Go in the other bedroom. What are you doing? Why does it have to be in the bathroom? I don't like hanging out in the bathroom. It's not a place for hanging out, man. I have a whole house. What am I doing in the bathroom the whole time? Go outside! Or it's just the lack of any sort of compromise. Like not even the tiniest budge or thought to make a compromise, even in the first place, for your wife. That maybe she goes first and you wait. Or maybe you let her in when she needs to use it and then you go back in and you can spend as long as you want because she'll be done after that point. Or like literally anything other than what the situation is now, which is obviously not working for her, and you don't care? You called her an asshole? Could never, not to my wife. Okay, I'm gonna read them backwards from all the titles that I already pulled aside. So the next one is, am I the asshole for pointing out my partners? This is ending up being bad partners. It's a bad relationship. Reddit, am I the assholes after all? Good luck with Emirates, my boys! true. That's why you shouldn't be sitting there for that long. It's not good for you. Go talk to a doctor. Also, though, if you ever had them, completely normal. Don't worry about it. But maybe consider sitting for a less amount of time on the toilet. Yeah. All right. Oh, you want to know how I do my makeup? I probably wouldn't do it on stream, but I do have a video on my second YouTube channel, which has been for doing makeup. We'll be doing clothes. I will prioritize this next week. I'm going to do the cider haul, like, try-on video and upload it. And then I'm going to go make the P.O. box, and we're going to do the trying on everything in my closet because it's filmed. It's ready to go. So I'm going to upload those soon. So you can check out my second channel where I have stuff like that. I'm going to move that just because when it's not, like, a particularly bumpin' chat, it almost just, it takes up too much space. It's mostly me talking today. Am I the asshole for pointing out my partner's hypocrisy when it comes to money? I love it. Let's do it. I love pointing out hypocrisy. Me and my girlfriend are both working and are both early in our careers. A few months ago, I got a 200-pound bonus, they're British, from work for passing some exams. You take exams in your work? That's weird. As soon as I got it, my girlfriend was asking what I was going to spend it on and asking if I was going to get her a little present with it, etc. She mentioned going out for, I already have 2 ways that this could possibly be going. So OP's the guy, and he's saying that there's hypocrisy with the money, but also, so he just got a 200-pound bonus, and the girl's like, well, could you get something for me? I'm wondering, is it her being hypocritical? I know we haven't finished reading it yet, or is it that he's not buying, like he's not thinking for getting her little gifts, and this is her being like, maybe you could get me a little something. I don't know. Let's see. We'll find out. She mentioned going out for a meal a few times, and I thought it would be a nice thing to do, so we went to a nice restaurant in our area that we have been wanting to try, and I paid for us. My girlfriend got it's probably going to be hypocrisy. My girlfriend got a 500-pound bonus from work last month, and when she was talking about how to spend it, I jokingly asked what she was getting me. She said nothing and that she was going to treat herself to some new clothes and a night at a nice spa near us. I suggested going out for a meal like we did with my bonus, and she said if we go out, we'll have to split the bill since she won't be paying for the full meal. I was a little disappointed since she kept going on at me to do something for us when I got my bonus. It's a two-way street. It's a two-way street. This is one of those issues that we don't know how much outside of this story who's doing what for the other. So, who thought that was okay? Mr. Singleton. Mr. White hair. This, just in this instant, doesn't sound fair. But there's a whole relationship of who's giving when that you have to wonder about also. But it's not even just the meal. For example, if I go to the shop to grab something, she asks me to pick something up, which I'm happy to do. But on the rare occasion I ask my girlfriend to grab me something, she'll ask me to transfer her the money for it. Ooh, I don't like it. I don't like that. I pointed out her hypocrisy when it comes to getting things for each other, and she just said I can't tell her what to do with her money. But she's telling you what to do with your money. I don't know about that. I get that, but she won't see that she expects to be able to do that to me. She went quiet and didn't answer when I asked why she expects me to get things for her when I get a bonus or go to the shop, etc., but she's unwilling to do that for me. Then she just said I was being unfair. Ooh. Am I the asshole for pointing out my partner's hypocrisy when it comes to money? Edit. We earn pretty... my question was who... It shouldn't matter that much either, though, who's earning more. But he said we earn pretty similar amounts and the housework is divided fairly, so we do an equal share. I'm wondering... Whose love language is what? Because it sounds like this also could be an issue of she thinks she's offering more in other ways, but she wants you to offer in gift giving, but maybe you want gift giving, but she thinks she's giving you other things, but it's just not fair. And it's if that is the truth, that's also just a miscommunication that shouldn't be happening in a relationship like that. And she wasn't willing to talk about it and said it was unfair. But why is it unfair? Why does she think it's unfair that you have to spend money on her, but she doesn't? And what is she doing for you? And you're saying that you'd like her to spend some of her money. So it doesn't feel like he's getting like that kind of consideration. I don't know. Sounds like she is the problem in this one. Yeah. I don't know. She sounds kind of selfish. Yeah, because in this specific dynamic, it doesn't sound like it sounds like she's taking more than she's giving, and he's clearly saying he wants more to be given to him, because whether it's gifts or whatever it is that you want to be given in a relationship, because it could be like just a quality time, all the love languages. It doesn't have to be a gift thing, but quality time or just the thought. In general, it sounds like he's not getting what he wants from that, but she's not willing to have a conversation about it. And she said it's unfair to point out that he has to buy her things, but she doesn't have to buy him things. She has to be putting something in, and she has to be doing it in the way that, not has to be, but like, sometimes you have to do the things that they want as like a love language, where if your partner likes quality time, you do that for them. Even if you are not a quality time person, you do that for them. But then also it's a two-way street, where sometimes your partner's going to do their love language to you, and sometimes you also have to just acknowledge and see that they are trying to show you they love you, but it's not always necessarily the way that you're it's all communication, man. Break up. Break up. It doesn't sound like this one's gonna work out. Like, they have to talk about what they want and need. That's what's missing, is that he's trying to talk about what he needs in this relationship, and it might not even be her spending her money, but she's not having that conversation with him and is saying it's unfair to even be brought up. That's not good. That's not good. That's pretty bad. You know what? I'm gonna go grab something really quick. I'm gonna go grab I love my leg rest. I get to have one leg just straight out, and I get to have one bent, but not fully all the way in because the chair seat's too small. It brings me so much joy. Ow! I hit my knee. Never mind. I'm unhappy. I'm gonna get a snack. Okay. I got Cliff Bar. I got Cliff protein bar. I also got my leaf pillow, which looks really cute in this chair, because I just think that the color combo is a cute one. I just remembered that I didn't eat. Also, I can't hear the music. Okay, it is still going. I just want to be aware of that. Yeah, this is just you got a partner that isn't willing to communicate about anyone's needs except her own, at the very least, because she's telling you that she wants you to take her out to a nice dinner, buy her a nice little treat with your bonus, but then isn't willing to have the conversation about you not having your needs met, whatever those might be. We don't even know. I don't know if he knows. Sometimes people don't know what it is yet. But you gotta work through it. You gotta talk about it with your partner. And she's not willing to talk about it, so I dump her. Break up with her. Usually I wouldn't suggest breaking up. Usually I suggest, like, therapy? Couples therapy? This doesn't sound like enough of a relationship. Like, I don't know how long they were dating. Wait. It didn't say. I would just dump him. That's me. If I was him, I would just dump her. But, and then she should go to therapy, probably. To be fair. Everyone probably should. If it's a married couple, like that first one was a married couple, I would say try couples therapy first. But I don't have hope for that man not even willing to budge with a compromise to stop your wife having to leave the house to use the bathroom. I just couldn't ever imagine. I could never do that to my own partner. I wouldn't do that. It's awful. So I don't know about much hope there, because to even let such a little thing slide that is so embarrassing and uncomfortable for your partner, I couldn't do that to my partner. I couldn't. Get a house with multiple bathrooms. Yeah, right? But if that's not an option right now, you have to compromise. Do you love her? Because it doesn't sound like it. So I would think that divorce might be inevitable for that one. But usually I would always say couples therapy first. But That man sounds like he has a lot of work to do for something so simple that he was willing to call his wife an asshole over and completely fine with letting her leave the house to use a bathroom in a public restaurant or something. I couldn't do that. It would hurt me to do that to my partner. I don't know. I don't know. So many of these assholes wouldn't be an issue if people just communicated and compromised. That's always 100% the issue in all of the relationship ones, every single time. Which is why I tell them couples therapy to learn how to communicate. Some people just don't know how to do it. They're just bad at it, and they need help to learn how to do it. And there's hope. You can learn as long as you're willing to put in the work. 100% a fixable issue. All of them, honestly. But the people involved, especially the people who are the ones that are lacking and need to do the work the most, they have to want to, and it's not easy work. And some people just don't want to because they don't think it's a big enough problem. But if you loved your wife enough and she's telling you it's a problem, I don't know. I couldn't imagine just saying, no, you're an asshole. That's not fair. Ew, ew, ew. He's doing crime. Okay, would I be the asshole for not returning a $1,000 gift given to me by my coworkers for my baby? I don't know what this is about. Throw away. Too long, didn't read the title. Me, 34, female. Piecing old memories together with new info I just got. Okay. Hold on, wait. Let's have a small intermission. I love when you get a revealing piece of information about something that happened in your past and you're like, wait. The missing piece. The missing puzzle piece that makes everything suddenly make sense. And you're like, what? What? I think there's no baby. I think that there's no baby is what's gonna happen for my baby. There's no baby, but her coworkers think there's a baby. That's what I think. That's what I think this one's about. Oh no. Hey, if someone doesn't tell you they're pregnant, just assume they're not. Unless they're literally like about to pop, I guess, but if you're not 100% certain, oh my god, don't. Wouldn't that be fairly obvious? No, what I think is happening is that her coworkers think she's some months pregnant because maybe she put on some weight, but not an obvious amount, clearly, if she truly isn't pregnant. She just probably gained a little weight, and all of her coworkers are like, oh, it's a baby. No, no. If you are not 1000% sure, carry on business as usual. What the fuck, man? Dude. Unbelievable. No class. I would never think to buy someone a gift for them being pregnant before they ever made it known. Like, there's no way. Obviously, if she's not pregnant. No, we haven't even read the story. But obviously, if she's not pregnant, they've made an assumption that she couldn't possibly be. She's not pregnant, so it's not an obvious. I don't know. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I would never get a gift before it was, like, properly announced. Because the only way I can imagine that they think she's pregnant is if it's only a few months because it's only showing a little because it's probably... Because there's no baby. She just has a tummy. Oh, God. You wait for them to tell you. Even if there was a baby, you shouldn't assume until they tell you. Because some people don't want to tell you until a certain point. There's also... There's, like, a superstition about it as well. People believe it's bad luck to tell people about a baby too early. So, like, don't. Just wait until they tell you. And if they don't ever tell you and they pop out a baby, just get a gift after. Like, it's really not a big deal. Don't do it before if you don't know. This could entirely not be what the story is about. This could entirely be just not what the story is about. But I started to peek. And I think that's It's not like I don't believe that this person was ever pregnant, is, I think, the situation. I'm not eating soap. Just because I said I've been tempted to bite soap on Lexi's stream does not mean I'm eating soap. Does it really look like soap? Doesn't look like soap. Who said soap? Someone said soap! I can read, it's right there! Maybe she's pushing those dog strollers and they're like, oh, she had a baby? This is just a dog. Looks like soap. Looks like soap. It's one of these. Really good, by the way. Very good crunch. I'm a big fan. Soup. Soup? What do you mean you're at soup? Why are you buying clothes at the soup store? I could never walk into a place. I'll never understand people that walk into a place like Lush. I get that their soap bars are made to look like little foods and candies. Where the hell do you think you are that you can walk into a store and take a bite out of a display? Even if it wasn't soap. Where the hell do you think you are walking into a store, picking something off of a clearly either display, has a price, you can't just bite it, but do? It happens too many times. I know about it happening too many times. Bro. How many Lush employees have had someone come in and take a bite out of their soap? Because I've seen enough posts that it happens. It's happening. Even if you thought it was food, you think you can walk into a store that has a little display of food and just take one and start eating it? Who raised you? Bro, it's not Costco. These aren't free samples. They have a price right there. And you're in Lush. I don't know if you forgot as soon as you walked in. Most got cancelled in the UK because they gave free stuff to the police. What do they need free soap for? Pay for it. Just like everybody else. You're not special. Pay for your donuts and your Lush. This is cool. Thank you for subscribing. Pet Purse, thank you for the Prime. Trenix, thank you for subbing. O2 Mystic, Storm Rainer, thank you guys for subscribing. Was anyone ever made to eat soap? Like, that was a punishment as a kid? I didn't ever have to be punished that way, or was ever threatened to be punished that way. But did anyone ever have to do that? That one made no sense to me as a kid. Like, they showed that in cartoons, and I was like, that's cruel. That's very cruel. It was the chancla for me. For my family, it was the threat of the wooden spoon. Never got the wooden spoon, but the threat was enough. I can't decide if that's maybe a good or bad, now looking back. It worked, and it was never needed to be used on me, but it was the threat of the wooden spoon. Oh, man. Nah, you shouldn't have to. No blaming on my parents' part, but I probably wouldn't opt to threaten the wooden spoon. You know what I mean? Probably wouldn't. Probably not. All right, let's read. Would I be the asshole for not returning a $1,000 gift given to me by my coworkers for my baby? It is an expensive gift if there really was no baby, but also to assume that you're pregnant when you're not. I think that's compensation. I think you should get to keep it. December 2019. How much time has passed? Wait, whoa, because they did say piecing old memories together. We don't know they wrote this 5 hours ago. Okay, We're going back in time. December 2019. Also, it being that many years ago, no, you shouldn't return it. Do you even still have it? Okay, let's just read the story finally. I tell my boss I'll be quitting end of January 2020. To be self-employed, but boss asked me to stay on payroll so he can contract out work to me easily. On my last day, coworkers leave me a goodbye card with $1,000 cash in it. March 2020, I move a few hours away. Last week, March 2023, I see a former coworker who... Unbelievable. I see a former coworker who pats my stomach. Even if someone is 1,000% pregnant, don't touch them. Stop fucking touching people. And asks if this is my second. Stop touching people. I internally die because, oh, she thinks I'm preggo. I know I'm about 20 pounds over where I'd like to be. And a lot of that is in my gut, coupled with a super curved lower spine that made my belly stick out even more before I got fat. I tell a coworker I don't have any kids. Haha, I'm just fat. She looks awkward. I feel awkward. 0 out of 10 experience, would not repeat. Stop touching people. Don't touch people's hair. Don't touch people's stomachs. Don't touch people. Don't touch their lower back. This is all directed at specific instances that I know are happening where people have their certain type of hair. People feel like they're allowed to go and touch it. Stop touching people's hair. When people are pregnant, they think that you're allowed to just touch their stomach without asking for stop touching their stomach. When there's a lady out and there's a man trying to get around her, don't touch her. Stop touching people. I get upset. I am upset. If you don't know them and you don't already know, 1,000% no doubt that it's okay. Like if it's your partner and they're okay with you doing a little lower back move to be like, hey, I'm right behind you. I love that. I love that when it's someone I know. If I don't know you, don't fucking touch me. This morning I get a call from HR, passing on a message from a different coworker asking for the going away cash to be returned. Nope, that's gone. There's no way you still have that 4 years later. Unbelievable. I'm so upset because none of this should have happened. And also, 1,000%, you keep that money. I hope you already spent it anyway. That's compensation for awful treatment. Bro, stop touching people that you don't know. Or even if you do know them, don't touch them. Unless you know that you're allowed to touch them. Ask. Every time. Jesus Christ. As it was meant as a maternity gift for my baby, and that me being fat and wearing shirts that emphasize my belly, and I bet she was just wearing a normal shirt that didn't hide it. She wasn't emphasizing anything, I could imagine. It was just normal clothes. She wasn't trying to hide it, which, like, you don't have to do. That's a ridiculous thing to expect. I don't want to have to see the shape of your body. Fuck you. Wearing shirts that emphasize my belly was deceptive, and I tricked that coworker into thinking I was pregnant. Stupid. Also, you don't work there, so you owe them nothing. HR can't reach out to you for anything. As far as I know, I don't know. I've never had a job where I had HR. I've worked places, but I don't know about an HR department in any of them. HR says she overheard the convo about me leaving, but continuing to do some work in the coming months and took that as my maternity leave. So she was stupid. She made assumptions and was wrong. You owe nothing to her. She took donations from the staff under the pretense, and now my fatness and lack of a babiness is the hot office gossip, a place you don't even work at anymore. 4 years later, 3, because it was the end of 2019. Feeling super great about that too. HR says they can't force me to do anything, but it would be nice to return it. No, actually, I think that it would be nice to let you keep it. I don't think it would be anything to return it. I think it would be a bad idea. I think it'd be a mistake to give it back to them. I think they made a mistake in the first place, and it would be nice of them to let you keep it 3 years later where you definitely don't have that money anymore. Here's the thing. I no longer have the card, but I am sure it did not say anything about there's a kid inside you. It had 2 pandas on the front that, oh, now as I'm typing, I do remember there was a big one hugging a smaller one, so maybe it was about babies. But it definitely didn't say anything like bun in the oven, or your sex was successful, or we think you're pregnant. I am certain I would remember that because that's a super big insecurity I've had for the past 5 years since I started gaining weight. Medicine side effect. Because also, no one's business if your shape the shape of your body has changed. No one's place to be making any assumptions about why. Why are you thinking about it? I think that's just so weird. I don't spend any of my time thinking about that. The difference in a person's body that's happened over 5 years. So I'm wasting no time thinking about that. It's not, I don't care. Your sex was successful is a great way to congratulate someone. I've never heard that before. And my husband keeps saying, nobody thinks you look preggo. So, haha, sucks to be wrong, hubby. This is a very hollow victory. Whoever's writing this is in good spirits and is very funny, and I'm glad. I'm feeling crushed. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. And upset that the going away gift wasn't actually wasn't, and not once did any of my coworkers actually ask if I was pregnant. Also, it's so weird to give a $1,000 gift because you're pregnant, but then no one verbally said congratulations at any point. They just handed you a card and then let you leave, and no one spoke to you about it or said. That's weird. That's so weird. I don't really want to return the money. The cash is long since gone, but I could pull $1,000 from my bank to give it back. No, 100% no. I also, no. You don't work there anymore. HR can't make you, the fact that they said it would be nice for you to return it. No. Returning it wouldn't be anything. It wouldn't be nice and it wouldn't be not nice. It wouldn't be either of those things. It'd be stupid. It's on them. They made the mistake. It's on them now. And it would be nice if they let you keep it. And it would be not nice for them to ask for it back. That's what's happened. Old boss has also been emailed about this entire exchange, posting here while I wait for a reply from him. Please update, I want to know. And Googling women's fashion to hide belly fat and feeling horrible about my body. No! That's the thing. I hated the part where they said she was purposely dressing to emphasize her stomach. I 100% no doubt believe that she was just simply wearing normal clothes, but wasn't going out of her way to hide the shape of her body. Because why should you have to do that? That's also stupid. Ooh, unbelievable. Girlie, don't hide. You look fine. This one was a bit infuriating for so many reasons. Not only just the person touching her stomach, assuming she's pregnant again. $3,000 though. You definitely walked out winning. Like, if you really do want to change up your fashion, if it would make you feel better, if that's all, that's you, that's 100% your decision, go on a little shopping spree maybe. I don't know. But absolute unbelievable audacity of some people. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Because people want you to hide the shape of your body. They love when you hide the shape of your body. They love it. Don't know why. It's weird to be just so caught up in your mind about other people's bodies at all. I'm not ever sparing a thought about someone else's body. What? Well, it was a waste of my time thinking about someone else in a way that is not productive to anyone. It's not helpful. OP is a queen. She was so funny, the whole story. Obviously the comments are going to say not the asshole. She should absolutely, I hope she does keep the money. When did this get written? This was 5 hours ago. I hope we get an update to see what the boss said. I don't expect him to be on her side, but, you know, one can hope that there's a good man out there. You know, the thing that wasn't nice is asking for it back after you made. How do you not feel embarrassed yourself of a mistake like that? I would feel too embarrassed to be like, oh, we should get that money back. I just assumed someone who isn't pregnant was pregnant. I should be ashamed. I would feel so upset and guilty and embarrassed. I could never ask for that money back. Oh, couldn't be me, though. Not the asshole seems like a sick life hack, to be honest. I'm going to try it. Maybe we should be going out emphasizing our tummies and pretending we're pregnant. People just give you stuff. They don't even ask. They don't ask about it. They also don't say anything. They just hand you money and then never mention it. That's the weird part is they all gave her... They chipped in $1,000, but not a single one walked up and said, congratulations, by the way, before you left. What the fuck? That's so weird. What a weird office setting. Could be tough, though, because my beard is going to give me away. This whole thread is in good spirits. I like it. I would like an update. Oh my God, not the asshole. That is harassment. Their mistake in giving you a gift that they never said was for your pregnancy or baby is not your issue to correct. That was 100% my thing, where they were like, it'd be nice if you gave it back. No. You made the mistake. It'd be nice if you let me keep it. It was 100% reasonable for you to think it was a goodbye gift. They don't get to decide goodbye because I'm having a baby is somehow more worthy than goodbye, I'm leaving to start my own thing. I would ignore HR or tell them what you wrote here. It was a gift freely given, not coerced from them. They made a mistake. They should feel so embarrassed. With absolutely no mention of it being conditional upon it going towards a baby. Then block them all. Agreed. Block everyone. Hold on, I'm gonna answer a message. The audacity of some people. The audacity. Ridiculous. I have a friend who doesn't like when women, why is women in quotes, have a belly. I've explained that it's a womb. Can only assume that this boss was also stupid and thought that having a womb showing at all means you're pregnant. Well, it wasn't the womb, though. Like, skinny people still have a womb. You're on her side, but also it wasn't her womb. It was her stomach. She said completely on her own, herself, she was 20 pounds over what she'd like to be. She calls herself fat. It was fat on her stomach. It was not her womb. Your womb doesn't do that, actually. Because people who are also flat, like no belly fat at all, they still got a womb inside. There is always that little bit, like people call it the pooch, the little bitty tummy fat that is very hard to get rid of because it's meant to be protecting the bits that are underneath. There was a whole thing going around on TikTok of people talking about that's where like the uterus is, and that's not true either. It's just belly fat. It is just fat. You can call it fat. But like your organs aren't in that section of your stomach. Some people don't have it, which I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you don't have that little bit of fat on your stomach ever. But some people don't. All their organs are still in there and fine. They still have a womb. But I like that little bit. I think it's cute. It's a little squishy. It's nice. I don't know how people don't have it, though. I don't know how you do that. Tell me your secrets. It's a protective layer, but there isn't any actual organs or womb or uterus in that bit on your stomach. But there was a wave of people going around talking about it as if, like on Twitter too, because there are people that don't like it or they think that it's just being lazy and not working off that last bit of fat. Shut up, though. Somebody also wrote in the comments, also remind HR that this whole discussion could constitute sexual harassment as reproductive choices are personal and private. And they touched your stomach. Ew. Ew. Like not even to mention that they went out of their way to touch you. Ew. Yeah. Well. Let people exist, bro. All right. Next one. Am I the asshole for telling my brother that he didn't need to share that his wife was in labor in my wedding? He didn't need... I don't know how you cannot share it if it's actively happening. I can't see... What are we thinking? Maybe it's the way he announced it, but there's no way that you can't not share it, right? Am I on the wrong side of this? That, like, how do you allow your wife to be in labor during a wedding and not tell anyone? You have to leave if you're that husband. There's no way you can't suddenly leave. You have to tell, right? I don't know. Oh, hopefully not during the vows. Okay, you know what? Let's read it then. Maybe there is a way that this could be horribly wrong. My wedding was days ago. My brother attended, but his wife didn't. She was nearing her due date to give birth and she didn't come. The wedding was going well till my brother received a call from his mother-in-law telling him that sister-in-law was in labor. He told me he was leaving and my wife and I were fine with that, but the issue began after he told one of the guests that sister-in-law was in labor. He told one person. Word spread out and suddenly everybody was talking about it, which disrupted the event. That doesn't sound like it was his fault. That's not his fault. That's not his fault. Even my parents started calling and there was a huge fuss, which frankly was unnecessary if my brother just left in silence or made up some excuse. He told one, that one person is gonna come back to bite them in the butt, maybe, because I get the fuss being an upsetting thing for the bride, having her whole event be a bit distracted by something else going on. But it's not his fault because he told a single guest where he was going. He didn't lie. And then I would maybe talk to that guest. Maybe I'd be a little bit upset with that guest. But also I'd just like move on. I don't know. What do you do at that point? It's already out. He didn't do anything wrong by telling a single person. I don't think that's the problem. I contacted him. Also, I think that too many people have too many expectations for how their wedding should go. You have to be so willing and open for things to go wrong. Things are going to go wrong, and the more prepared you are and, like, okay with that happening and a little bit more go with the flow and just, like, I don't know, kind of roll with it a little bit, the easier it'll be. But if you have strict expectations without any bit of budging in your mind about how it needs to go perfectly, you are only going to be disappointed, I feel like. Like, maybe you were upset about it, and that's understandable, but it's out now. What do you do to move forward? Be happy, be excited. It's still your wedding day, and you have a little niece. Now you have a little niece or nephew. I don't know if it's a boy or girl. I contacted him later and expressed my grief. It's a bit extreme. It's a little bit overreacting, I feel like. Grief. Over what? And frustration with what he did. I told him how the news of his wife being in labor disrupted the wedding and caused... Oh, this is a man writing it. I thought it was the bride the whole time. I assumed. I didn't expect that to be the husband writing it. Oh. That's a plot twist. I told him how the news of his wife being in labor disrupted the wedding and caused my wife to feel like her day was ruined. He lashed out asking how any of that was his fault. I explained how he should have just left or made up some excuse to leave. But he said he didn't mean any harm and that he was in a hurry and worried at the time. And he said it to he only told one person. He didn't like leave and start telling a bunch of people, my wife's in labor, my wife's in labor. He didn't do that. He said it wasn't like he announced it and told me I disrespected him by arguing with him about it. We had a big argument and our parents sided with him and told me to get over myself and are now expecting me to apologize. I mean, that's what you should have just had a little bit more, you had too high expectations for this to go perfect. Stop expecting this day to go perfect. It's never going to go perfect. Something's going to go wrong. You set the expectations too high, you can only fail. And I would be, if you were talking to anybody, I'd be talking to the one friend that spread it around and be like, hey, I didn't love that this thing happened, and as my brother was leaving, he only told you, but then suddenly it became the talk of the entire event because you then spread it. You know, you could have that conversation. But also, I just wouldn't. I just wouldn't, I think, care enough. Or, like, I'd be more focused on moving forward, still celebrating and having a good time, and also maybe being happy about the fact there's a little baby now on the way. That's your little niece or nephew. It's definitely not the brother's fault at all because he told one person while he was rushing out the house, like, oh my god, my wife's in labor. That's not his fault. So one of the comments said, the baby is obviously at fault here. Selfish jerk couldn't even wait till after the wedding to be born. What an asshole. Baby's the problem here. I'm hiccuping so much. I wouldn't blame anyone, but I agree. If anyone was to blame, it's the one friend that got told and then told everybody else. That's the only person that really, and I wouldn't even bother. I'd be like, I hear screaming and I don't know why. It sounds like there's a football game going on or something somewhere, but there isn't anywhere that could be happening near my house. I just hear a man shouting. Yeah, I don't know. I think a big fault here is that too many people want this day to go perfectly, and that's not possible. You can't, it's just, you're setting yourself up for failure. But I understand being upset about the distraction and being like, oh man, now I'm not like the main center of attention. But also, I don't really care about being like I don't know, I'd be just as excited and continue the party. I don't know. What is the issue? Too many people put a wedding up on a pedestal a bit too much. So, You were the asshole. What was happening to your brother was completely out of his control, significant, and scary. To ask him to conceal that in the moment because it stole focus from you was utterly narcissistic. Especially, not even, we're completely ignoring the fact he told one person. It was only one person. On the way out, he was like, my wife's pregnant. My wife's having a baby. How do you not do that? I'm guessing if his wife was in a horrible car crash and medevac to the ER, you'd want your brother to keep his mouth shut too. You owe everyone in your family an enormous apology. Yeah, I agree. Also, I wonder how much this is the wife who's upset, because it's the husband who wrote the post and was like, my wife is very, very disappointed. What did he say? She felt like her day was ruined. I don't like your wife. I don't like your wife. You're the excellent. Oh, you're the asshole and your wife too. I look forward to the follow-up post next year where you and your wife complain that the birthday celebration for your niece nephew has ruined your first anniversary. Oh yeah, they share a date now. You see, you can so easily let that be something that constantly is upsetting to you, or you could be a more reasonable person and be happy and excited about it every time. It's a celebration. It's a good thing. Be positive about it. My rug was delivered to my door. I got a new rug. Ugh. Let me go get it because I've had a rug stolen before. Not here. Alright, that's gonna be fun to move my entire couch. I haven't been looking forward to this, but I have to move all of the furniture in the living room, roll up the old rug, lay out the new one, but I gotta move all of my couch cushions and everything. But I'm really excited about my new rug. I'm excited about my new rug. What I have never had a rug be delivered in is a box, though. Do you fold it? I've never had a rug folded before. It's always been rolled up and then just like delivered in a roll. I've never had it in a box folded. lot for it to be. I'm out of breath. I'm so out of breath. You mean expensive? Oh, did I say it wasn't cheap? Oh, it was cheap. It was cheap. I'm so glad it came so early. Look at this chair. I can make this go up. It is the least fancy chair I've ever bought because it doesn't have as many like features. The armrests do not move at all. It only goes up and down. It doesn't... Does it recline? I feel like there's a lever here. I don't want to break it. I don't know if it reclines, but I've never really cared about a reclining bit. Also, the review that said there's a bar that pokes you in the back. That's not even like a thing. There is like a lower back support like thing that sticks out, but it's not an uncomfortable thing. It's actually really nice. It's been good. I do think I could get that cat cushion seat and put it in here though, and it might fit. Because this chair... It is just slightly less wide than my previous chair. My other chair was almost as wide as my doorway. That was a whole thing to get out of my room. I thought it was expensive. Oh no, it was so cheap. The cheapest chair I've ever spent money on. I'm not happy about it. It's no Herman Miller, but I like it. It's got a leg rest. Herman Millers don't have leg rests. Let's see. Am I the asshole for getting matching tattoos with my stepsister and not including my half-sister? That just doesn't sound fun. Am I the asshole for not reimbursing my nanny for books she bought for my daughter? Reddit said they're the asshole, but I just don't really... That one doesn't sound fun or interesting to me. Am I the asshole for ruining my husband's surprise birthday? Did you do it on purpose? Let's see if they did it on purpose, because then, yes. Maybe? I'm questioning which way this will go, which means we need to read it. No games today. It's gonna be a couple hour stream. I've got somewhere to go this afternoon. I was gonna do Minecraft, but we've done enough Minecraft, and today I wanted to not have my headphones on. What brand is the chair? Amazon. I don't know what brand. It just is an Amazon chair. Am I the asshole for ruining my husband's surprise party? My husband, 39 male, is turning 40 in 2 weeks. I, 30 female, wanted to take him out to dinner and buy him a gift to celebrate the occasion. He knew I was planning something for his birthday, and he'd given me a gift wish list, but he didn't know the details. I had been subtly, or so I thought, fishing for information throughout the week so I could make sure I planned something he truly liked for his milestone birthday. A few days ago, I finally settled on a nice restaurant, set aside a supercar showroom. Set inside a supercar showroom. You can have a restaurant inside a supercar show. What does that even mean? Because he's always loved cars, but as I was looking up the menu online, I caught him peering at my screen over my shoulder. I'm not even remotely interested in cars, so when he asked if that's where I was taking him for his birthday, I had to admit it was. Okay. Today I told him I'm also awful at keeping secrets and doing surprises. If it's my own to be kept. If it's somebody else's, I'm a locked box. If it's my own, I'm so bad at it. If I buy a gift for someone and I have to wait like a few weeks to give it to them because if it's for their birthday, I always am asking if I'm allowed to spill the beans. I'm like, can I tell you what I got you? I'm the worst. I'm awful. Today I told him I had to go out and pick something up. He asked where I was going. I answered. He asked me why, and when I couldn't give him a straightforward reply, he quickly figured out I was picking up his gift and what it was. Man, I am so this person because I just can't lie. I'm not good at it. I don't want to be good at it. So I'm not really trying to be very good at it. I'm trying to sidestep telling you the truth. But if you ask me straight up, I will just tell you the answer. I don't even think half the time. And if someone asks me a question, I just answer it with the truth because my brain is just faster than... Or my mouth is faster than my brain. I'm going to be really upset if this husband is mad at the end of this story because I see nothing wrong so far. I thought it was going to be a surprise birthday party that other people planned that you spoiled because you're bad at keeping secrets. And then I'd be like, you're not an asshole, but you got to try a little harder if it's, everybody else put effort into this and you accidentally spilled the beans. But, I still wouldn't even call you an asshole for it. But Where's this going? How could this possibly be you being an asshole? I just don't see it yet. He quickly figured out that I was picking up his gift and what it was. He started... Oh, he did get upset. Oh, man, stop. Whoa. He started getting really upset. Stop asking questions if you know that your birthday's coming up and she's clearly trying to avoid answering your questions. Stop asking more. You did this to yourself. It's fully the husband's fault. Especially after he said she was going to pick something up and he asked where you were going. Why'd you ask? Oh, hello. Hello, good morning, Star. Do you know where you are? She was over there and I slid the whole blanket this way, so I don't think she knew where she was. Hey, did it get too toasty in there? Wait, look at her. She doesn't know where she is right now. Good morning. Hello. What's going on? You just poked your head out and you're like, what the heck? Where are you? Well, anyway, you can just observe that, whatever is going to happen over there. He started getting really upset and called me dumb for not being able to plan his birthday properly. He said I ruined his birthday. I hate this. I'm upset. I'm so upset. And sarcastically asked what the point was in surprising him when I'd been asking him questions all week, not even trying to hide what I was planning. Fuck you. The absolute sheer amount of effort she had been putting into this. So who cares if you figured it out? Who cares? The lengths that she was going to do something so nice, the effort put in is completely invalidated by him by saying she ruined it by asking questions the whole time and not trying to hide what she was planning. You asked her questions. Stop asking your wife questions near your birthday when you know. Ew. Ew. She was trying so hard. She got a nice fancy dinner in a supercar showroom, but he said it's ruined because he knew she did it. Or, fuck you. That's hi. Bye. That's so upsetting. Oh, husband and wife. He called her dumb. That's just mean. Some of these stories I read of people who are married and I'm like, do you even like your partner? Do you even like her? It sounds like he just doesn't even like her at this point. I hate that. He was sick of the questions and that he might as well have thrown his own birthday party at this point. Never mind that I was about to say this myself. Never mind that I was the one who actually booked, pre-ordered, and prepaid for the meal and the gift. Might as well have thrown his own birthday. No, because you didn't. She put in so much effort, you're not recognizing that. Ew! So am I the asshole for being terrible at keeping secrets and spoiling his surprise? No, he's an asshole. Just period. How'd you end up being married for this long and not realize how much of an asshole this guy is? I don't know how. That's so mean. It's just mean. It's just nasty. I could never... How do you say that to someone you love? I don't understand people. I'm so upset by these bad husbands today. This is another one that it's like, I would love to tell you to go to couples therapy, but this is your husband, and he's being so mean to you, completely ignoring the efforts that were made, and saying it was ruined simply because it wasn't a surprise. Bad husband. Bad husband for such like a little thing that was so sweet of your wife. If I was watching my partner going like, I would think that is so cute, even if I picked up very easily on all their questions about figuring out what gift to get me, where to go, where to take me. I would think it's so cute. I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't ruin it for them. I wouldn't tell them that I know. But like, you have to really hate your fucking partner to watch them be putting in all of that effort and be upset at them because they're doing it too obviously, and you can tell that they're trying to plan a surprise for you. Where's your whimsy? That's my favorite meme is the whimsy posts. Some of y'all don't have any whimsy in your heart. Is that what it is? It is whimsy, right? Am I making up a word? It's up with a W. I would just, how do you watch all the effort being made and just get more and more upset about it because you can see it happening? How dare you show me that you love me in too obvious of a way that I'm not surprised by it? You're dumb. Because I'm so much like her. I am constantly trying to ruin the surprises that I get for other people. My thing is that I ask always. I got a really nice gift. I still have to give it to her because I keep forgetting to bring it when I go see her. I got a really nice gift for Megan for her birthday, but I hadn't been able to give it to her before I was leaving for England at the time, so I was going to be gone for like almost a month. So I was like, can I tell you what I got you because it's really nice and I want you, I need to tell you. And sometimes my friends that I ask if I'm allowed to tell them, they say no. Sometimes they tell me no, and I'm like, okay, I'll just keep it bottled inside. I'll try. But she said yes, so she let me text her the picture of what I got her, and she was so excited about it, and that made me feel. I just can't wait. I'm just so bad at waiting, but I would fucking die if I found out the person I was dating hated me for that. They didn't like me because I'm not able to keep. I would love if this is someone I loved. I would think it's so cute. Like, you're so bad at that. You're so bad, but it's so cute how much you're trying and how much effort you put. You got to notice the effort. I'm so upset. I'm so upset. What is this? I have such a hard time not spoiling something, but like if that was my partner and I was watching them running around being like, so like if you were, what would it be a restaurant maybe if you, like maybe the most obvious questions, but I would think it's so cute if you love it. Oh, it's just nasty. I don't like this man. Unbelievable. Let's see what the... And I'm just upset that he made it all her fault that she ruined the surprise when he was constantly asking her questions, knowing that there was like activity and plans being made around his birthday. He was constantly asking her questions like, where are you going? What are you getting? What are you doing? Fuck you. What? You're going to blame her when you're the one going out here asking all these questions. Like, did you want to push her to be better at lying? I don't know. I don't know what he expected. Not the asshole. So because he was peering over your shoulder and you're not a great liar, this is your fault? Tell him to sort out his attitude by the big day or there will be no birthday parties going forward. He's acting like a brat. They should go to couples therapy. I don't have a lot of hope because when there's like this is such a little, should be a non-issue. When it is an issue, I feel like that's a big deal. Like this is a big red flag. And I'll always encourage couples therapy first, but I just don't see hope in a relationship where something that is such a non-issue is an issue. That's a bad place to be in, I think. But what do I know? I don't know. 100% agree. He wanted a surprise. At this point, I would just take someone else to the restaurant and give him something boring like a box of chocolate for his birthday or a frozen pizza that he can enjoy on his own. She would put in so much effort. She went to so many, like, the lengths she went for this. Where is there a restaurant that's in a supercar showroom? I've never heard of that. Unbelievable. The audacity of some people in these stories. I hope I never encounter a person like this in my life. I hope. Never. Who cares if you found out where she's taking you? I'd be like, that's where you're taking me? I don't know. God damn. How do you get mad? How do you get mad? He was upset and called her dumb. He's got some other issues, I feel like. How do you get angry over this? He just doesn't like her. I think he just doesn't like his partner anymore and he's mad at her for no reason. People get resentful for things that are just completely not their partner's fault. And it's like, you have to sort that out, man. You have issues and it is not your partner's fault. Is he turning 40 or 4? He asked you questions about what you were picking up, looked over your shoulder, and then had the audacity to think you can't keep a secret. If he wants to be surprised, he should stop being so nosy. I do want to get an update on this one. Somebody said, I hope there's an update, and I would love if there was one. I never look back or check back to see if there are updates on these, but this is a 40-year-old. Midlife crisis, maybe? Maybe a midlife crisis. I don't know. I know one of those restaurants. They are so expensive. Unappreciative. I can't talk. Bro. Yeah, he very intentionally was searching. for information. My hiccups are gonna be so much worse because I have a soda. He set you up. Actually, I'm entirely convinced he just set you up. He monitors your online browsing and your movements when you want to shop, and is all shocked Pikachu face that he doesn't get any surprises. He sounds unbearable. If he's not happy with a gift or a restaurant, just cancel them. That might be a surprise for him. Good point. I would do that. Cancel it. Surprise. We're not going there anymore, actually. There's your surprise, bitch. Oh, man. Yeah, no. Watching you over your shoulder, asking what you're doing when you're going shopping. That may be a different red flag that I didn't actually even pick up on being the issue here. But monitoring what you're doing and then being mad at you because you had no room to be able to offer a surprise to him because he's constantly on your ass about everything you're doing. Sounds controlling. I didn't pick up on that until this person pointed that out. I picked up immediately that this is not an issue of the surprises. I feel like this is a different issue that he's sitting on, and he's making it his partner's problem and fault, but it isn't her, it's something else. Red flag! Divorce! Divorce! Get out of there! Quick! And some of these issues, there's a couple of therapy, you can't fix it, but, I mean, I'm always gonna say try. But that's a big red flag. The controllingness of it all. Unless he wanted, because sometimes you have a partner that's like, they know you're trying to do something for them, and you are being nosy and it's on purpose, but you wouldn't be getting upset at them if they figured out what it is. But like, if he was trying to be nosy about it and be like, what is she gonna get me? But then got mad at her for not being able to keep it a secret, that's also just like... What? I want to read this. I want to read this. I want to read this. Would I be the asshole if I banned my partner from seeing his family because they gave us worms? What kind of... That's exactly my... What kind of worms? I don't know what this is gonna be about. So they added edits to the top. So I'm gonna skip those and come back. There's lots of different kinds of worms. I need to know what kind. I'm trying to read. Okay. They actually tell you immediately what kind of worms it is. And I've never heard of them. I have never heard of this kind of worm. I am going to do a Google. Let me read the first sentence and we're going to go do a Google together because I've never heard of these. So I'd like to know where this comes from. Hello. There, as the title states, my partner's family has given us thread worms twice in 1 year. What's that? I'm going to regret Googling. I don't want to look. Threadworms, also known as pinworms, are tiny parasitic worms that infect the large intestine of humans. They are a common type of worm infection in the UK, which was part of their edit. They clarified that they are from the UK. That makes sense. Oh god, I didn't know that was something to be worried about when I go there. Particularly in children under age of 10, the worms are white and look like small pieces of thread. Whoa. You can get threadworms by accidentally swallowing worm eggs found on contaminated surfaces. This happens. What? This can happen by scratching the anal region and then touching your mouth or food. Oh, no. I never heard of these. My cat had ringworm. I've heard of that. I've heard of tapeworms. Threadworms. This was intentional. I've seen it before. How do you do it intentionally? How do you give someone... we gotta read. Okay, hold on. Please stop. I don't want to know. We're about to know. Buckle up. Twice in 1 year. His family consists of 2 adults and 5 children at home. 3 of them are over 13, and there are twins aged 9. They have a developmental disorder, and mentally they are about 5. The first time I got them... The first time I got them, I was like, got what? The worms. My partner was living at home and we were friends with benefits, but now we're official and he lives with me. The first time we got them, I was the one who noticed when the symptoms began. Threadworms? Oh, we're about to learn about things about threadworms. So if you gotta mute for this one, I'll give you a big wave. How about that? If you're already muted, I'm gonna give a big wave when this one's over, because this one might be tough for some people. If you're not into the bugs, I'm gonna give you a big. I'll do this for the people that are leaving. I'll let you know. I'm gonna give a big wave. I got you. Mute me, but like keep the tab open. Okay. The first time we got them, I was the one who noticed when the symptoms began. Threadworms incubate around 1 to 2 months, so symptoms don't come straight away. I told my partner, friends with benefits at the time, I said, I'm sorry to assume, but it must come from your family because I have no contact with children, and children are the main cause. That was I Googled it, and that was true. Also, I'm going to be worried about this every time I go to the UK now, although I guess it's children that get them because they scratch their butts and then touch stuff. Ew. Ew. He agreed and told his mum. He bought me treatment out of guilt. It's expensive. We all took it and they went away. I didn't judge him about this, and I wasn't nasty because I know it's all part of having children. Now, about 2 weeks ago, I get a UTI. I take 2 courses of antibiotics, and it won't go away, and I began to worry. My birthday came. I couldn't go out drinking or have sex. I had to rearrange my plans. Last night, I noticed the itching and inspected myself. It's threadworms again. This is why my UTI won't go away. Now, that I did not know would be a thing. Threadworms... Are they like eating the antibiotics so that your infection can't leave? I don't know. That's fine. My main worry is why I have been the one to inform the family they have worms twice. Why have they not been checking the younger two's anuses? How the hell are none of the 8 of them noticing it before me? How much? Oh, you gotta teach these kids to wash their hands. I'm willing to let them. I'm glad I Googled before I read this story because it is all making sense now. Because if she had said, why aren't they checking their anuses? I would have been like, why would she do that? But now I know. The more you know. I'm willing to let them have another chance to change things. But if it comes a third time, I will make a drastic decision. I believe I may be the asshole because worms are a part of having kids. No, not like this. Not like this. And banning someone from seeing their family is cruel. I'm just not willing to get worms again and again. Where the twins are developmentally... Oh, I forgot about that part. It will probably take them longer to grasp proper hygiene, which will prevent this. Hopefully I am wrong here. I mean, until they can grasp it, you can't be expected to just be okay with getting worms over and over. Right? I don't think that's unreasonable to be like, we can't keep doing this, so until it's something that can be solved and they can learn to be more hygienic and wash their hands more, you can't be around them because you just can't keep getting those. Or like they have to, I don't know. The parents have to be on top of it, right? I get the kids don't understand, but then where are the parents to then like be washing their hands regularly? I don't know. And also, why are they not noticing that everyone in the family must also have worms? I don't know. Not the asshole, and I think you think this is a more common issue than it is. I've been working in childcare for almost a decade, and I have never encountered a child with threadworms. This is extremely concerning. Yeah, that's what I was like. I don't know if this is like a normal. Well, I'm not from the UK, so I don't know if that's just like a thing. Like in America, kids come home with lice sometimes. That's really common. I thought maybe it was like that, but no. The kid just got bugs for some reason. I don't know. Why are bugs so common with children? I think you should be taking this more seriously than you are. This sounds like child neglect, if I'm being honest. That's why I'm like, if the kids don't know to wash their hands often enough after touching their little buttholes, you have to be sure that you're washing their hands regularly, and all surfaces have to be clean. Children have a pact with bugs. I had lice as a kid because somebody else came to high school with it, and then I got it, and that was the worst too, because my mom had put like these nasty chemicals in my hair that made my hair feel like so dry and brittle. It was real bad. I was so upset because there's some kid came to school with lice, and then I got lice. I didn't do anything wrong, and apparently lice like clean hair, so like it just meant I had really nice clean hair that they liked. Oh, no, P's replying. Thank you for your reply. I suppose where I had them so often as a child, I see it as common. Oh, she had them often as a child. Okay, I don't know. Maybe it is. But then I was severely neglected. Oh, it's like that. Maybe it's not that bad. But she was neglected as a kid and had it often as a kid. That's not good. Which is why it was so common for me. I will keep this in mind. I promise, OP, it is not common at all. I'm sorry you were neglected to the point of consistently getting threadworms. You deserved better. These kids deserve better. Ooh. That's not a good realization, actually, at all. This is awful. Worms are part of having kids. No, they're not. The whole family needs to be treated and the house needs to be decontaminated. That's disgusting. However, you can't ban your partner from seeing his family, so for that, I don't know, but I think you can if this is the level that the family is at. You just keep going in there and getting worms. You can, I mean, banned? I can agree with, like, nothing for a partner should ever be called a ban. It should never be, you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that, or you're banned from doing. It should never be that. It should be, you have a conversation about it. You express your concerns and you say, I really don't think that we should be going over there until this is a problem that's solved, because I keep getting worms and I have a UTI that won't go away, so I have multiple problems layered on top of each other because of these worms. It should never be about telling your partner what they can or cannot do. It should be a conversation and saying, like, I think that we really need to, and then also listening and understanding, because then I would hope that the husband's like, yeah, you're right, we can't keep getting worms, so we'll have to stop seeing them until they get it under control. So I'll agree it shouldn't be about banning, but I wouldn't call her an asshole. I don't really think that she literally meant she's going to go up to her husband and say, you're banned from seeing your family. You can certainly encourage him to tell them he doesn't want to come over because they have health issues. Yeah, that's exactly. I don't think she literally meant ban, because I wouldn't agree with that language, but I think it was just like we have to stop going there. If you think that in a partnership you're ever entitled to tell your partner what they can or cannot do, that's a fat red flag. That's a big one. You're allowed to not be comfortable with your partner doing things, but you're never allowed to tell them what to do. You have to have a conversation, be on the same page. If you're not, break up. Go find someone who is on the same page. But you cannot ever tell a partner what they can or cannot do. I feel so strongly about that. I had dated someone in the past that was like, you're not allowed to wear tank tops and you're not allowed to wear a bikini at the beach. I've talked about that before. This is a long time ago, but red flag that I didn't notice at the time, but it's so blaringly obvious now. You're allowed to not be comfortable, but like you have to have a conversation about it. And if your partner's like, no, I'm going to keep doing this, and you're not okay with it, break up. You can't tell them what to do. You can't control them. Period. Move on. Oh yeah, I didn't read the edits. Okay, edit 1. I'm in the UK, where they are almost double as prevalent than they are in the US. Yeah, I didn't even ever heard of these in the US. So please consider this if you were in the US and never had them. We spoke to his mom every time after this post, and she confirmed one of the twins has them. How does not everyone have them? How do you keep getting them and only one of the children in the house even has them? That's kind of wild. Well, unlucky. Not her fault. Edit 2, my original post exceeded the character limit. There's a character limit? I didn't know that. So I removed a lot of details. I know everything needs to be hot washed and contact points sanitized. Hello. Hi. What's up? You wanna come up here? You wanna come sit in the new chair? Look, you could sit on the leg rest part. You could sit there and be in between my legs. Come here. Hey, come back. Where you going? Goodbye. I did this the first time, and we've already begun doing it for this time, starting with bedding. Then the towels. We won't shower until we've cleaned the towels. Come back. Where are you going? Just rubbing on everything. Okay, yeah, we can give the big wave to the people. We're done with that one, but oh my god. Oh my god, gross. Come back. Come back. It's safe. You could, if anyone wants to type in the chat, it's safe for anyone who did mute to now unmute. It's safe again. I haven't heard the story. Can you tell it again? No. Oh, my story about the... Well, no, I haven't told it as a story. It was just simply... I had dated someone that told me I wasn't allowed to wear tank tops, period, or bikinis at the beach. I never tell any, like, I don't ever have any interest in telling any of my stories in full about exes or ever naming any specific people. And I've dated so many people that are not public relationships that you even know about. I just like telling my experiences in bits sometimes. That is that whole story. I mean, there's more of that story, but that's as much as I am telling now. But yeah, no, unacceptable. Unacceptable. Did that man a school dress code? Yeah, shoulder. It was an issue with my shoulders. And he was like, I know how men think, and I don't want your shoulders out there. And I was like, I don't know if you do know how men think. I think that you're just exposing how you think about other people and their shoulders. Yikes. So they wanted you to go topless? No, what the fuck? Where'd you get that from? I hope that's a joke. Yeah, that's what it, like, you're allowed to sit there and be uncomfortable. And that was what I excused it as, with allowing myself to be told what to do. But it should never be that. If you're not comfortable with something your partner's doing, it has to be a conversation. Fully open, honest, listening to each other completely. And then if your partner says, I still want to do this thing that you have expressed you're not comfortable with, you have to break up. That's not a partnership that's going to work. You can't make people do what you want. And that's that. And now I wear tank tops whenever I want. Because my shoulders are not a problem. Cool. I'll read a few more. Wear what you want, babes. Wear whichever you want. I hate reading things online where people are like, I would never let my partner do that. Gross. Ew. You using that wording of they're not, I wouldn't let them. You don't have control over what they're allowed to do or not. So fuck you. I hate that. I'd never let my girl do that. Well, shut up. You don't have one. Man. Man. It's such a big red flag. Because I feel like a lot of people that they think that it's okay because they'll excuse it by saying, I'm just not comfortable with that, whatever that might be. But it's like, but that's not what you said. You said they're not allowed. That's the problem. Ugh. Aw, she's looking out the window. Oh, she's such a sweet thing. Tumblr does have a new icon, and I really like it. It's really cool. Goodbye, worm. But I like it. It's a good one. I'll just stay single for the rest of my life. Hey, you can do whatever you want. If my partner ever said something like, I wouldn't let, just dumped immediately. No questions asked. I wouldn't let them talk about me that way. Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend she should not drive in high heels? I have never done that before. Because I don't wear high heels. I wear like 2-inch platforms. Or like a chunk heel. But that's it. I'm not like a stiletto girl. So I don't know how bad or not bad of an idea that is. I don't know. Anyone here? I've driven with wedge heels. Yeah, I feel like platform and chunky heels I've definitely driven and it is completely okay. Driving in high heels is completely illegal, by the way. I don't know where you are. I don't know if that would be true across the board. I don't know if we mean America. I don't know if every state is completely like that. Like a platform is completely okay. I have never tried to do this, so I do not know actually if it's illegal in some places. I was like, I do not believe you when you say it's literally illegal. Because I'm pretty sure, at least if you're in America, it is definitely going to be a state-by-state thing. I just couldn't, personally, say how dangerous it is or isn't because I don't know. I just don't know. Because you're not using, you're only using the toe, right? You're only using your toe. But I would be afraid of it getting a little snagged. Wearing platforms and like a chunky heel, I think is different than a stiletto heel. Because I wouldn't feel like that's dangerous at all. I have complete control of my feet. They're not going to get stuck. It's just that the length of my shoe has a little extra 2 inches, but that's it. But I don't know It's probably legal some places. I don't think that anyone could say it's illegal everywhere. I don't think that would be ever true. Except for, like, murder. But, well, even that. I think it's illegal in Australia. I wonder what it is in California. It's definitely going to be a state by state, I'm pretty sure. Driving in heels is not actually illegal. How are you able to say it's not actually illegal anywhere in the world? I don't know if I believe that either. I don't believe either people who are saying it's illegal everywhere or it's not illegal anywhere. I feel like some places they can do that, but despite what you might sometimes hear, there are no laws against driving in heels anywhere? Is it illegal to drive in high heels in California? It's not illegal to drive in heels. Is it dangerous, though? Because if I've never done it. And in my mind, I can't see why it would be necessarily dangerous because you use the gas and brake with your toe. Is it dangerous? I don't know why. I can't figure out if it's really that dangerous. It could get caught. Is it hard? I just don't wear heels. I just really don't know. Honestly, if I don't wear heels simply for the fact that it's too hard to walk in, maybe it is too hard to drive in. Maybe. But, like, platforms are okay, right? I've never felt like platforms are harder to drive in. I did always get told as a kid that it is illegal to drive with no shoes. I don't think that's true either. Barefoot. It is... Oh, is it? Never mind. I read that wrong. No, it is not illegal to drive barefoot. I always felt like that felt wrong to do. The heel is unstable to rest your foot on. I guess something that I realized about when I drive is that I don't rest my heel. And so by the time after a really long drive sometimes, my thigh is like burning because it's mostly floating and I'm just resting it completely on its toe on either the gas or the brake. And I'm not resting my heel, and maybe that's why my dumbass brain is like, why is it more dangerous? You're not even using that part of your foot. I think you are supposed to. I just don't drive with my heel down. Barefoot, my mom told me you're not allowed to do. But it does look like you are allowed to do it, and I guess in some cases it would be better to do instead of drive in the shoes that you're wearing. Yeah. I have worn heels many times and you get used to it, honestly. I drive manual as well. I did almost crash because my foot slipped because of the heels, so I wouldn't advise. Just walking in heels is too hard for me. They're like the really, really tall, skinny ones. Although now I'm at a point where I will only buy platform shoes because I do love being tall now. I've decided being 5'6" is exactly what I've always wanted, and I always knew that. I said it because I wanted to be a rockette. There was no reason for me to want to be a rockette. I was not a dancer, and I was not going to be a dancer. But rockettes have to be 5'6" minimum, so I decided that was the height I want to be. And now... in this last year, I have bought only new shoes that are 2-inch platforms. I got platform docks only. Platform boots. I just bought a new platform sneaker, which I just remembered has not arrived, and I don't remember where I ordered it from, so I don't know how to trace that down. Is it the ADHD? Probably. 5'6" isn't tall. It's tall for me! Shut up. Okay, let's read. My 28 male girlfriend, let's call her Emma, 26 female, likes wearing high heels ever since I have known her. She's self-conscious about her height, but it is not really a big deal when we are together as I am short. She's 5'2", and I'm 5'6". My issue, however, is when we go out together, she normally drives as it is her car, and she drives in her heels. I repeatedly tell her that she should switch to flats and not drive in them as it's dangerous, but she refuses and says she knows how to drive in them, and is used to it and claims in some cases it's easier as you can pivot between pedals faster. Or easier, actually. I think she is not being honest, as I can't possibly see how it would be easier. I feel like I could see someone thinking that, especially if you're like me and you don't drive using your heel at all. Like, that heel's not touching the floor ever. But I would just be scared if you get too close, it could snag on the floor. And in a quick decision moment, it might get stuck and you're not able to get to the pedal you need to in time. That would be a worry. But she must be confident in the fact that she's just toes only, using the toes on the pedals and not resting her heel at all. I just wouldn't be confident in that never accidentally getting snagged. You know? Even in a sneaker, sometimes you might drop your foot and it might accidentally like, catch the floor. But bro is insecure about his height. I don't know if that's the problem. She's allowed to wear her heels. It is true that it is just probably not something you should be doing driving, because even if it doesn't happen all that often, if you get that heel stuck in a bad situation, it could make or break an accident, I guess, is like the real thing. I get where she's coming from, because I drive with only my toes. I'm not resting my heel down, so like, but I don't wear heels, and I probably wouldn't drive in them, but I'm never wearing them, so I just have never thought about it. Oh, last week she got into a small accident and rear-ended someone. I was not there, but a car changed lanes in front of her and she rear-ended it. I bought her some sneakers and told her to use them as driving shoes, and then left them in her car, and she called me an asshole, and I said her accident had nothing to do with her shoes and that I should drop it. Now, we can't know for sure if it had to do with her shoes. It might not have. It might be true that it wasn't her shoes. But the way that it works in America, at least, almost always, if not always, if you rear-end someone, regardless of the situation, you are almost always, if not literally always, found to be at fault. That's just how it works. I don't know if that's the case in other countries, but in America, pretty much I think everywhere, if you rear-end someone, you're at fault, no questions asked. They don't care about what the situation was. You shouldn't ever be that close, is the argument. I get if someone changes lanes right in front of you, though, and if they brake check you, I don't know how you're supposed to avoid that. We don't know what happened in the accident. She should get a dash cam. What are you doing? Come here. Michigan is a no-fault state. That sounds amazing, because there is times where you might rear-end someone. Like I said, if someone changes lanes right in front of you and then brake checks you, it's not your fault. But I've lived in places, I've only lived in 2 places. I'm pretty sure in New Jersey, at least what my mom always told me, is if you rear-end someone, it's your fault. That's just how the state looks at it. Insurance in Michigan is the highest because of this. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, there's definitely times where you might rear-end someone and it isn't your fault technically, but some states will just, they don't care. They're like, you were behind, you hit them, you were too close, it's your fault. Why would they brake check you? Have you never had that happen to you? I wonder why would you do that, but people do it. People are absolute monsters on the road, and I have seen dash cam footage of people brake checking other people. Because also, if you're in a state where if you rear-end someone, you're at fault. So if you brake check someone and they hit you, you get a quick little payout. They're at fault. People do it, and especially if they're petty on the road. If you like accidentally cut them off or something previously, they might literally get in front of you and brake check you so that you hit them, and now you're at fault. It's definitely something that happens. Couldn't tell you why, but it does happen. Dashcam footage from Russia is the best. I also was watching this channel that is in Russia of these guys that there's like a popular sidewalk that people keep driving their cars on because it's faster to get around traffic, but it's a footpath. And so this group of like guys sits there and waits for cars to come down this footpath and then stops them and makes them reverse out because it's not a road. But people are trying to beat traffic, they're late to work, whatever their excuse is. And it's insane because some of these people in the cars, they pull their gun out. It's wild. Check out that channel. I don't know what it's called, but you probably could search enough to find it. Ain't that insurance fraud though? Yeah, but like how often is that probably happening and it's not caught? Because not everyone has a dash cam to prove that you got brake checked. And if you rear end someone, they're just gonna say you were too close. And if you can't prove that you weren't, it's definitely happening. I should get a dash cam. I should get a dash cam. I was in an accident. I've only ever been in one car accident. And technically, I rear-ended someone. But I was rear-ended first into the next person. So obviously, I wasn't at fault. I didn't have a camera for it. But me being in between, it was a 4-car accident. I was in the middle. No one was ever going to think it was my fault. There's no way that could have been. But I hated it, though, because I hit the car in front of me after I got hit. And the girl in the car in front of me gets out of her car, and she is just so pissed at me because she doesn't know yet that I didn't hit her. I hated that feeling. I was like, please, it wasn't me. It wasn't my fault. I didn't do it. Yeah, I gotta get one of those. It is a good investment. It's super worth it. So many things can happen on the road, and it's just, it's so good to have as like a safety. I need to get one. Luckily, I didn't need it for that accident because it was one of the two cars behind me. I don't know which one it ended up being. I thought it was the guy that hit me, but I think that the conclusion of the investigation was actually a different guy hit him sideways and then hit me, and then I hit the girl in front of me. Well, I hated having her look at me like with the most disgust because I was like, please, it wasn't my fault. I hated that. My car was totaled too. That was awful. Oh man, that was I loved that car. That was my car that I had shipped across from Jersey to California. It was my grandfather's car. And the damage on the outside didn't look that bad at the time, but then they had somebody come and like, what's it called? Like appraise it or something? I don't know, just to check out how much it would cost to fix it. And he lifted up like the mat in my trunk to look at the frame. And he was like, yeah, that frame's really bent. And I, at the time, didn't know what that meant. Now I know, if your frame is bent, that is unfixable. That is a totaled car. I didn't know that. So this man is like, yeah, your frame's really bent. And I was like, so how much do you think it'll cost to fix it? And he was like, we'll call you. And I was so embarrassed to find out later that that's like not a fixable thing. That's a totaled car. So they gave me $5,000 because that's what they said my car was worth. It's such a shitty thing to happen too because, yeah, maybe that's what my car was worth, but I can't get a car for that. I can't replace this car for that. So, fuck me, I guess. It was the worst. I like my car now though. I'm almost finished paying it off and I'm looking at the next car. I'm looking at buying another car and I want something. If I can swing it, I'd love to sell the car I have now and buy one for slightly less because I don't want a new car. And I don't want to lease a car. I want to buy it. I'd like something pretty inexpensive, but not too old. Under 100,000 miles. I will not be buying a Tesla. Fuck that. I was looking at some like a few years old Ford hatchbacks that had to come in yellow, and I really, really, really want that. I really, really, really want that. Also, though, my absolute #1 dream car of all time, period, that would be financially possible ever, is a 2005 Ford Thunderbird. However, every year that I go and not get this car, that car is so old now. I wish I got it 5 years ago when I had my accident and then had to buy a new car, because then it wouldn't be as old as it is now and I would have had it for 5 years. But to buy a car from 2005 now feels like just a mistake, but I want the Thunderbird so bad. Ah! What do you think about it when I do it? Huh? What are you thinking? Do you want to come up? Come sit on the new chair? Come here. Come on. Come here. Come on, sit on the footrest. This is how I break the chair. She's gonna... My 13-pound cat is gonna break the chair. Come here. Oh, she's in the tunnel. Man. Alfa Romeo? I thought every Alfa Romeo was an expensive car. I couldn't have. I don't want a new car though. I think my car that I have now was about $23,000. I'm almost done paying it off. I think it's 5 years older now. It's from 2017. I think I could get $15,000 to $17,000 for it now. It's still super low mileage. Good condition, except for the fact that the console is busted, but it was like that when I bought it. But like, how bad of an idea is a 2005 car? How bad? Because that car is anywhere between, depending on the condition and the amount of miles, $12,000 to $15,000. So Or I might just get a different, like, very, very plain Ford Focus or something. Because I really don't need anything super fancy. I honestly, I just want a plain, reliable car. I'd love it in yellow, though. I would love it if it was in yellow. And, like, people have cars from 2005 that are running just fine if you take good care of it. So maybe it's not the worst idea. I've seen ones online that are between 60 and 80,000 miles on them, and I feel like that's all right for a car from 2005. I've been told, as far as I'm aware, has a pretty good engine in it, so it's like, I would have to sacrifice that there's not going to be a backup cam. There's not going to be any sensors that will beep when I'm too close to stuff. And I'm pretty sure it has a cassette tape player. I'm pretty sure it has a cassette tape player and a CD player. Or maybe even just cassette. But, it's such a cool... Google it. Google image 2005 Ford Thunderbird. It's the last time they ever made one. They also made the same car in between like 2002 and 2005, but I wouldn't get one older than 2005 because that's already too old. But it's so freaking cute. I'd have to get the deluxe because I'd want the back seat. So it's a 4-seater. It has, I want the hard top. That's like a non-negotiable. I want the hard top because it's a convertible car. I would never take the top off because I would have nowhere to store a hard top. But it has this cute little circle window in the back. I love it so much. And it can come in yellow. Or I would just get it like wrapped or painted. But especially if I'm only paying, it's a very cheap car. People didn't like it when it came out, which I don't understand. I think it's amazing. Can we talk about why are they not making cars look interesting anymore? Like, why are all cars the same? People need to have fun with their car designs, because look at the Ford Thunderbird 2005. Somebody had fun with this and was like, I'm not going to make a car that's like all the other cars. I want a car that's not like other cars. 1995 Thunderbird. Okay, we're not talking about the old Thunderbird. That's like a classic car. I don't know about 95, but 2000. I was spot on. It is 2002 to 2005 they made this model of Thunderbird. People hated it at the time. But, like, its whole purpose was to kind of be a retro-style car in modern times. Why doesn't anyone do that? I truly can't understand. Is our car companies, like, in on some deal that they won't make a car that looks like a retro, vintage, like, old car because it might devalue the actual old ones? Why is no one making a car that looks like this anymore? It's a 2-seater? Nope. I want the deluxe. It's 4-seater. I know everything about this car. Anything you're about to Google that you're just going to find at the top of the Google search, I already know it. I know more than you about this car. I love this car. I would get the deluxe. It has a 4-seat. It would be a 4-seat car. Trust me, I've looked. I already know. There was a trend in the 2000s of making retro-themed cars. What other ones are there? Because I need one. And I'm so upset that no one does this anymore. Where are the interesting, cool, quirky cars? Here in 2023. Why isn't anyone doing that? It has so much character. I love it so much. Its little circle fucking window is so cute. Look at the yellow one. It's amazing. Oh, I just can't stop thinking that it might be a really bad idea to buy a car from 2005. But it might not be. It's my dream car. And the longer I don't do it, the worse it gets of an idea. So I might look into it. But I don't know. I also just maybe... we'll get a plain-ass older, not old, but just a regular, reliable little Ford or something. But it's so cute. It's so cute. Why do people not make them like this anymore? I don't understand. You should invest now. Oh, don't be mistaken. This is not an investment. Cars aren't. Unless it is actually a classic car. This car will only go down in value, as all cars do. I do feel like they're not making cars that could ever go up in value. Like a car that's from the 60s now is an incredibly expensive vehicle. I feel like they're not making cars now that will ever be like that in the future. Why is no one making cars like this? Give me a cute, quirky car that has character. That's all I want. It's got such a cute front. It's so round. I'm obsessed. Does anyone know of any other cars that are even a newer year that like have that kind of vibe? Because that's all I want in this world, and I feel like there isn't one that was in the last like 5 years. Tacoma isn't the only thing kind of hitting that mark. I don't know what that is. Let's Google. We're on car talk now. That's a truck. I don't want a truck. I do drive a big car, but I do not want a truck. I want I want your standard. Okay, no to the cube. I don't want a cube car either. Maybe I will just turn down all the cars that do have like a quirk to them, but I don't want a square car. No thanks. But there was a... She's sitting in the armchair. It's so funny from here. There was a specific Ford hatchback that I unfortunately think is also the year 2005. That came in yellow. And it looks like this. Like, I don't even need it to be cool and retro looking. Please focus. It is a Ford Focus. It's a Ford Focus and it won't focus. It's a Ford Focus hatchback with like a bunch of letters. I forget what it's called. You kind of get, you see it. I like this. I think most people would be like, that's a very plain looking, even ugly kind of car. But I like it. I honestly put yellow on any car and I'll probably fall in love with it, to be fair. But I would like a car that kind of has the vibes of a retro car that was made within the last 5 years. But I feel like there's not a single car company that's doing it. Are you showing a yellow 2011 Ford Focus? I might just get a Ford Focus because I'm not going to be happy. Or I'll get the Thunderbird. It'll be one of those two things. MX-5 Mazda. I also don't want it to cost an arm and a leg. I want it to cost equal, if not less, than the car I have currently. What I might be able to sell it for. Maybe even the same amount that I bought it for in the first place. I'd actually be willing to do. That's a very nice car. I'm not confident in the fact that this is not going to cost an arm and a leg. Mazdas aren't cheap. I like it though. Does it come in a 4-seater? I will not do a 2-seater car. I don't know if they... Oh. Mazda Roadster? Hello, you're cool. Mazda MX Roadster 4-seater. He's kind of funky looking. There's no way this also doesn't cost. Oh, it comes in yellow. Yeah, I don't want a 2-seater. I like the hatchback. They do currently make a Ford Focus hatchback, and I could get one that's like a used. I like getting certified used. That's what my car now was. But I want it in yellow, and if I don't have to get it painted, or wrapped is probably better. I think wrapped is cheaper most of the time than painting. Maybe, question mark? Or at least easier. I'd like to not have to do that. I'd like it to already come in yellow, but where was that? Volkswagen Polo. I'm shopping right now. I'm looking around, so I'm open to any suggestions that kind of fit this like quirky, cool, old person a little bit kind of vibe. But I feel like there's just not really anything that hits the same as the Thunderbird, but it just keeps getting older and older. Oh, what is that? Oh no. Oh, also I want to talk about the Volkswagen Buzz. We don't have it, I think, in America yet, but it's the electric Volkswagen bus. It's called the Buzz, and I really love that, but I probably won't get a bus. And they don't have it out here yet. That's from 96. Volkswagen Polo Harlequin. Not my vibe. It's cool, it's fun. Appreciate what they were doing. Too old, though. It doesn't seem like a car that was made after 1996. And I'm already questioning getting a car from 2005. I couldn't get one that's that old. The VW Buzz is amazing. If I was getting, I would love to get one that's more fuel efficient / hybrid / electric, but affordable, which is not Tesla. And there's so many other electric cars that are affordable, and I would much sooner do that. But Volkswagen Buzz, they just look really cool. They look so cool. I'm a fan. I also was a fan. I liked what the Mustang Mach-E looks like. I did not mind it. I won't get that, though. It is way too expensive. Why are they all so expensive? The Buzz is also expensive. I guess I should have seen that coming. It is a whole bus, to be fair. That's why I wouldn't get that one anyway, as much as I love it. Because I don't want a bus. Yellow Volkswagen Beetle 1970. What kind of car do you think I'm looking for? How have we gone so off the rails that people are suggesting a car from the 70s? Squirmy Guy, thank you for subscribing. Penny Isn't Real, thank you. Consistently Confused, thank you. Fizz is Cool, thank you. I think I read those ones. Here, give me a second. I'm gonna go pee because I drank a lot of water. I will be right back. 2 seconds. 2 minutes, really. All right. Something that I was considering and thinking about was a little like Volkswagen buggy, but I also want to be able to bring people around in my car because I always am the one who volunteers to drive because I like driving people. I like having a bigger car that can seat enough people. So sadly, as much as I do think they're very fucking cute, not looking for something that small. Also, Mini Coupes I also think are cute, but I don't want that little of a car because I want to bring around friends. I love a 4-door if it has 4-door, but 4 seats minimum at least. Volvo C30. That is a fun one. I think I'd probably get the Ford hatchback sooner if I'm getting a hatchback. Somebody said no to hybrids. Why no to hybrid? I feel like hybrids are really good. I know a few people that have different types of hybrids. I don't know if I'm ready to get a full electric car right now. There's a lot of learning to come with that of like, where do I charge? I don't own a house, so I can't charge at home. I'd have to like learn all the places to go and charge my car. John, I think they give you the 100 bits. How did this go from am I the asshole to car shopping? Because that's just what happens. That's just what happens sometimes. And I am in the market for a car, so I have started looking. I'd sooner get a hybrid than a Tesla. Same. Honestly, I'd sooner get a hybrid than most electric cars right now anyway. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm ready to go full electric, but I'd love to be more fuel efficient. The car I have now is definitely not a fuel efficient car. That is a gas guzzler. I'd love to not have to spend so much on gas. It's got a fat tank though. Road trips would be fine. You just have to kind of plan ahead about where you'd get your, like where you'd plug in. That's something that I would be like, I'd probably rent a car for any road trips, which was also something I was thinking about if I got the Ford Thunderbird. I think it'd be a completely fine car for getting to and from. Most of my driving is done within 30 minutes of my house, like back and forth places like that. If I did a long road trip, I could just rent a car. I could rent a car. That would be maybe a bit more reliable, and renting a car is a very cheap thing to do for a day or a few days. I've done it. I've rented cars since I was 21. I was renting cars all over the place. So in that regard, I might start seriously searching down Thunderbirds because that will be a hard search to find one with the mileage I want, the price, the hard top. I cannot be picky about the color with that one because there's definitely a finite number of those that are even an option for me just simply because of the mileage on it. But I'd probably then rent a car for any longer road trips. Anything more than an hour. I feel like a Thunderbird can handle an hour. But I am also nervous about the no backup cam because I don't feel like I need it anymore. I needed it at the beginning because my car is a very big, long car. But now that I've had that car for 5 years, I have learned the shape of it so well. I don't look at the camera. I know where the end of my car is. I know it so well now. I ain't American, but aren't road trips all about spontaneousness and randomness? No. That's only in movies. It can be, but that's not what a road trip is about. I have done many road trips that were very extensively planned out, especially I was almost going to drive to California from Jersey when I first moved here. That was a planned out road trip over a course of days. I wouldn't have done something like that spontaneously. I don't think most people do a long road trip spontaneously. You can. I wouldn't say that's what it's all about. That's straight up out of the movies only. I saw a Thunderbird that hits all the marks but yellow. That's what I'm not expecting to be able to get that one in yellow. I just know it was made in yellow and it's amazing. I would wrap it, especially considering that car is cheap. People did not like it when it came out. I couldn't understand why. I think that they thought it was a mockery of the original, insanely beautiful original Thunderbird from like the 70s, but it was not popular when it came out, the newer model of it. I love it, and that makes it really cheap because I've seen some for 10,000 out there, but they all have like over 100,000 miles, and I think my cutoff, I'd like it to be under 80 ideally. My car now had 60 when I got it, and it's still under 70 now. So I think you know, I went on a spontaneous road trip. It was very fun, but planned ones are much more fun. I feel like I mean, it's definitely a thing, but I think that it's much more common to plan a road trip, especially a long one. Like, I have spontaneously driven to Santa Barbara. It's like 2 hours away, but that's only 2 hours away. I've driven to San Francisco, but that was planned. I feel like most of the time, if it's especially longer and especially over multiple days, you plan that out because you want to, like, you got to plan where you need to stop, stuff like that. That's very much a movies thing of like, all road trips are spontaneous decisions. Yeah, so I would just probably rent a car if I got the Thunderbird, but I would definitely do that because I've been renting cars forever. I've been renting cars since before people even knew you could rent cars, which I still don't understand why that's the biggest misconception. But maybe some places it's true. But everybody, every time I ever talk about renting a car is always like, oh, but you have to be 25. And I'm sitting here like, no, you don't. You don't. I have done it in many states, driven across many states in a rented car since I was 21. There's different fees. It's a little bit more money if you're under 21. You have to, I think the insurance is more. But I don't know why everyone thinks you can't do it. At least in America, I believe across all 50 states, you can. There's different steps and different like amounts of money that it costs and insurance things, but so many people keep telling me you can't, and I'm like, I have done it many times. I was renting cars lots. I always rent from Hertz. Now that I've built up a rapport over years with them, it's so cheap to rent a car. It was like a $20 a day sometimes less. If I don't really need a very nice new car, I have rented cars for under $20 a day. It's so cheap. Yeah, they'll charge more, but I just can't stress enough how much people have told me you can't do it. Like they were like, no, you can't until you're 25. And I was like, no, you can. You can. It's just different. I believe you have to be older in order to rent a car if you're not from America. That might be the case, but that isn't the argument that people I've had conversations with this about were making. If you got a license, you can rent a car. If you're 18, you can rent a car. Most states, I think 20 is the age limit. I've never heard of that. I've only ever heard of at 18. I think a lot of places are minimum 18, but I've never heard 20. That's a very weirdly specific age where nothing happens at 20. That's different. At least at 18, you're an adult legally. We have to be at least 21 to rent, or yeah, 21 would make sense even, but we have to be 21 to rent a car in Ontario, Canada. Yeah, I figured other countries are definitely different, but I've talking to Americans that were like, no, you can't until you're 25. I was like, no, you can't. You literally can. People just don't know. But I just don't know where that rumor started. Or like that was something that everyone I'd ever encountered in America had always told me, even before I did it, even after I did it. And I was like, why does everybody think this? When I'm pretty sure not even in any states is it minimum 25. It's just so weird. I just don't know who started it. We do have weird age restrictions, but there isn't one for driving, like for 25 for renting a car. I don't know where it started. Just the fact that it costs more and you need a different insurance if you're under 25. But I don't know why everyone thinks you just simply cannot. Yep. From Hertz, renters must be at least 20 years old at most locations. That's weird, but I guess I thought it was 18, but I guess it wouldn't have mattered because I started doing it at 21. So it didn't apply to me, so I might not have just known any different, but I knew it wasn't 25. I thought Hertz let you do it at 18. At least in some places I've been, they did. It does say most states, but yeah. How many driving tests to get a full license in America where you live? 1? Where are you having to take multiple tests? I mean, you have to take one written and one driving. Yeah, I don't know what you meant. You have to take classes. I took 3 in-person driving classes that I think were like 3 hours each or something like that. 1 written test, 1 driving test. And then when I moved to California and I got my California license, I had to do the written test again. If you get a new license, you might have to do that. You shouldn't have to redo the driving one, though. You have a highway test? Whoa. No, we don't have that. We do not have that. Really hard to rent a car without a credit card no matter your age. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that makes sense though. I guess I had a credit card. I think I had a credit card. They take debit too, but that might be true. That's fine though. That wasn't anyone's argument. I had to take my written test again in California, and they let you do 3 attempts to get the score that you're only allowed 3 wrong questions, and they let you try the test written 3 times. I got 100% the first time. It was so easy. And I studied for it too, but it was so easy. Mini hatch Cooper. No, I said I don't want any mini anything because I want a car that can fit people. I want a 4-door if possible, but 4-seater definitely with space for my friends. I don't want a little car. I'm a big car kind of person. Not a truck, not a van, but I've got a fat sedan, like a big or a hatchback, but I don't want a little car. I don't want people having to climb if I can help it. I have had a 2-door car before, and at least the back seat did have space, but I'd prefer not having 2-door. I definitely want a car with space, though. I've been in the back of a Mini Coupe, and it's tight, and I'm little. Yep. In Ireland, as long as you're 18, you can drink, you can drive as long as you have a license, you can rent a car as long as you have a license. That's what I understood it to be even here, is mostly, because I don't even think you need a credit card either. But maybe some places make you need a credit card. But I don't know that I needed one. If you have a license, and you can pay for the insurance and the cost per day for that car, you can have the car. You can rent it. 4-doors just feel safer too. I like having a lot of length in my car. My car is a very long car. I can't fit in most spaces that other cars can. It's a pain in the ass trying to parallel park anywhere ever because a car, like a normal car, could fit in tons of places that I can't. If you want a big Mini. No, I don't want a Mini. I don't want a Mini. I don't want a big Mini. I don't want a Mini. I think I'm going to end up getting a Ford Focus hatchback because I actually really ended up liking it. I'll get one that's a certified used from a few years at least. Less than around the ballpark of 50,000 miles. My car will pick me. I'm just starting. I'm searching. I'm starting the search. But I will search for the Thunderbird. But if one of them just doesn't happen to pop out and it's not the right time and something else catches my eye, I'll go for that. I really hope I find something yellow, though. I don't want to have to pay for it to be wrapped, but I will do it. I will have a yellow car. My car now is not a car that was made to be in yellow. I could have had it wrapped when I got it if I really wanted a yellow car, but I feel like that kind of car, it was not meant to be in yellow. It's too, angular. It doesn't look cute if it was in yellow. You get that car in black, silver, white. I've seen it in red is really nice, but yellow's not going to look cute. Some cars just don't look right in a certain color. Commit to the Thunderbird. It just has to be the right one. There might not be one anywhere near me that checks all the boxes. It's 100% a deal breaker if it doesn't check some of them. So we'll see. But, I will look. I will look while also looking for other cars. Because I want a yellow. I want a yellow car. God, I wish Porsche gave me a car. Imagine if I did that deal and they handed me a car. I wouldn't know what to do with that. I actually don't want to be responsible for that nice of a car, to be fair. I just can't be trusted. I don't trust other people. I got my car, and within a week, someone, while I was just 30 minutes, I ran into a Ralph's, and I came back out. Someone had let their shopping cart go wild and hit my car. No sign of the person or the cart, but there's definitely a massive scrape on the side of my car. I was only in there for 30 minutes, so I just wouldn't want a Porsche because I would be so upset if that happened. And if I had a Porsche, I'd want to pay to fix that. But because I don't, I did not pay to fix it because I don't care. But, email Porsche. Hey, remember when I did that thing? Could you give me a car? Please? If I ask really nicely. So I could have sold the Porsche and bought the Thunderbird. I don't need the Porsche to be able to buy the Thunderbird. I can sell my car now and buy a Thunderbird. I could keep this car and buy a Thunderbird. That's how cheap they are. If I had a Porsche, I'd sell it and buy something way better than a Thunderbird. If I had the money from selling a Porsche, please, I wouldn't spend it on a Thunderbird. That'd be the only reason I wouldn't get one, is because I'd have so much money, I could buy a brand new car, which I do not want to do right now. Wacko Dacko, thank you for subscribing. Thank you. If I had a Porsche, if I had my pick of a Porsche, I'd get a Boxster. That is a 2-seater, however, but they are cute. Porsche's expensive there. Where are you that it's not expensive? What? Where do you live that a Porsche is not an expensive car? Or how rich are you? I don't think anywhere in the world a Porsche is not expensive. The money from a Porsche, you could buy a house. That's literally true some places. Where are you that a Porsche is not an expensive car? Because I'd like to move. I'd like to live there now. And then I'll buy a Porsche. UK, they're pretty expensive. They're very expensive here. That's a luxury, like, high-end vehicle. It's a sports car, a lot of them. Porsche Boxster. That's the one I like. It's cute. It's a cute little That's got the look of a car that I love. But it is a 2-seater. 718 Boxster. It's a nice car. It's a good car. I just gotta know where are Porsches made, because maybe that's where they're not expensive, but I just don't believe that. This Boxster is $65,000. Bro. Okay, that won't get you a house, but some of them definitely could. Ain't no way you just said Boxster. In the UK, a Boxster gets called the poor man's Porsche. Maybe I'm poor. I like it. Look at him. He's cute. Sure, I'll take the cheap Porsche. I don't care. Give me the Boxster. I'll take it. Call me a poor man in my Porsche. Try. See if I care. If I'm driving around in a convertible Porsche, I don't care if it's the cheap one. Well, they have an electric one now. Ooh, oh, concept coming soon. Boxster electric. Ooh. I did not know that about the Boxster, though. I just thought it was the cutest one I had seen. It's adorable. Cool. They looked like they would cost 20 years of not buying anything to afford. Yeah, I just couldn't. I couldn't afford even that one. It was $65,000. How's that a poor man's car? Please. Be so serious right now. A Boxster isn't a poor man's? Oh, who? Did you get it wrong? Is it some? I don't know. I still like it. It's definitely the cutest one. I just want something with character. It doesn't have. I don't even want a new car. I want a little yellow Ford Focus hatchback. I want a little yellow Ford Thunderbird from 2005. Maybe Ford should give me a car. Yeah. Anyway. Oh. Did I finish reading? I never finished reading the other story that got us to talk about cars, to be honest. Does Ford even make cars anymore other than Mustangs? Please tell me that's a joke. Yeah, a lot of them. But that's gotta be a joke. I don't know if you're old or young, because they have a lot of cars. They make so many different kinds of cars. What? So I didn't finish the other story. I did finish reading the, she said her accident had nothing to do with her shoes. Am I the asshole? There was an edit of an entirely additional part of this story. If you missed the story, I'm so sorry. The breakdown is essentially this person's girlfriend was driving her car in high heels. He said, hey, maybe you shouldn't do that. It's dangerous, it seems. And she's like, no, I can do it. It's not really dangerous. I'm used to it. And then she got in an accident that she says has nothing to do with her heels. But he's like, am I the asshole for buying her sneakers to be driving shoes because she shouldn't be driving in her heels? And then there's an edit that says, thanks for all the responses. I can't respond to them all, but I feel I pushed the issue too much and apologized to her. The responses seem mixed. Ooh, I haven't read the responses. I'm surprised that they're... Well, that's what I really didn't know how dangerous this really was because I don't wear heels. And I could see it adding an extra layer of danger that is maybe when you're in a car unnecessary, because I would eliminate layers of potential danger when driving a vehicle that could kill people. Since the beginning of 2021, Ford has only been making one car. I don't believe that. I literally just looked at a brand new Ford Focus the other day to find out the price. I don't know. Maybe you don't live where I live and they did stop making any. My mom just got a new Ford. She got an Expedition or something, one of the SUV ones, like brand new. Am I crazy? Do they not make other cars? I don't know. I was just on their website. No, they do. Okay, I was like, there's no way that's true. They do. Yeah, they make other cars. Why would they stop? They have so many cars. SUVs and crossovers. Oops. Electric cars, all vehicles. You come into my chat and you tell lies. Not only do they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 commercial vehicles, which is not what we're talking about, so I'll let that slide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 performance vehicles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 SUVs and crossovers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different trucks and vans, and 8 different electric vehicles, all 2023. When's the last time you went on their website? Or maybe you don't live in America and maybe they did just stop making everything for everyone outside of this country except the Mustang. But that's like an enormous amount of cars that they do still make this year. I was just on their website looking at their certified used. And like I was seeing what the newer cars were. They don't have, as far as I'm seeing, the Focus that I would have been interested in. But they do have many like SUV crossovers, which wasn't really my vibe. The Edge looks kind of cool. Explorer, that's the one my mom had. Expedition is the bigger one. So they do not, they have the hybrids, which are actually nice looking. I like these. These are nice. But I wasn't looking to get a new one. So them not having the Focus hatchback anymore new is okay with me, because I wasn't going to get one new one. But my guy, they got lots of cars from this year. They definitely did not stop. There's no way that would happen. They make too many cars. They make boatloads of cars. That was like 20 different cars. More than that. It was 30 different cars. I think you're mistaking vehicle for car. I think you're mistaking car for sedan. Listen. Even still, they did have more than one. But that's all good. It's just a mistake. Ford is like the car that my family, my mom and dad, and if they were buying any of us cars, actually no, my first car was a Volkswagen. My mom and dad are Ford only family. They only buy the Fords. My dad is a Ford truck man. My mom is a Ford SUV crossover fan. We're a Ford family. And then I had my Ford Focus. My first car was a Volkswagen though, which was almost just broke everything. It was passed down to me from my grandfather. Oh, no. That was the Ford Focus. My first car was a Volkswagen 99 Passat that we bought for $5,000 from the Ford lot, because they just happened to have, because sometimes car dealerships have cars from other dealerships that are used, and then they sell them. So even when I got my first car that was a Volkswagen, it came from Ford. We were Ford family. Okay, the responses seem mixed, but I've spoken to her more about it. And I guess it's something really subjective and depends on the design of the car, pedals, and the specific shoe, as not all heels are equal, driver height, practice in them. I guess that's all also true. But I feel like a stiletto just adds a little bit of an element of danger that I wouldn't take. I wouldn't take the risk in case the little end of it got caught. But I don't know. In her case, she says in her car, as long as she has good quality floor mats, she has no issues, and she prefers the seat position she uses when she drives in heels. And the only shoes she has trouble with are flip-flops and any shoe with slippery soles, which is fair, as I have trouble with some slippery shoes as well. I have trouble with slippery shoes as well. The laws of most places seem to not call it out specifically. Yeah, most places say it's not illegal. Some laws have that vaguely say proper footwear. That's what I thought. There are some places that it is legal to be barefoot because they want you to have footwear at least. But, yeah. And I saw some court cases where heels were blamed or flip-flops, but that is only when it could be proven they were a clear cause of the accident. And at 2, also we just heard back that she's not at fault from the insurance. So it wasn't the heels that caused the accident she got in. Even though she rear-ended someone, which is good for her because that can be hard to prove. Depending on where you live, especially. I didn't know, clearly, if this was a good or bad idea. It's not something I do or have ever done or would do because I just don't wear those shoes. And I've worn shoes that aren't heels that immediately, with my pedals, I was like, oh, this is a little bit uncomfortable and I'm not used to it. Sometimes they're slippery. Flip-flops I don't like driving in because it doesn't feel comfy. I have driven without shoes before because the shoes I was wearing didn't feel comfy for driving. But is it possible that someone driving in heels is completely safe and in control just as much as someone in sneakers? I just don't know if I would take the potential extra risk, but maybe there isn't one inherently? I don't know. This one's iffy. This one's iffy. I want to read the comments because they said it was pretty mixed because I just don't know, honestly, on this one. You don't sound like you understand Emma as a person separate from her relationship with you. I don't know where they got that from. I infer this because you think that her issues with her height shouldn't be a problem because you're not very tall. This wasn't about her height, though. I feel like somebody else said that this sounds like he has an issue with his height, but I did not pick up on that. I don't agree with it. Why would her perception of her height have anything to do with you? They only mentioned at the beginning that she's self-conscious about her height. They only mentioned that to explain why she wears heels all the time. He said in passing it's not really a big deal when... I thought he meant for himself when he said it's not really a big deal because I'm short. She's 5'2" and I'm 5'6". He never said he has an issue with how short she is or that when she's wearing heels, maybe she's tall. He didn't say anything like that. So I'm not picking up that from this story. I think he just mentioned it to explain why she's always in heels and said it's not a big deal, which I thought he meant for himself. But maybe he meant for her and he doesn't think it's a big deal, but I don't think it's as deep as this person's reading into it. But maybe I'm wrong. I might be wrong. You assert the danger of driving in heels. It doesn't sound like you have any personal experience wearing or driving in heels, but because of your superior mind, I didn't get that from this story. It does sound like he has an issue with his height. I don't see that. I don't see it's possible, but I'm not seeing it just from this story alone. He was way too quick to mention it where it wasn't necessary. I think it was necessary. I think it was just he mentioned that she likes wearing heels because she's short and she's self-conscious. That was all it was. And that was only just to begin the story. I just don't really get that was really the issue here because they didn't mention it anymore after that. I feel like if it was really a deep issue secretly, it would have popped up again, but it didn't. It just was something to mention. So my girlfriend likes wearing heels because she's 5'2". And then went on to say that she drives in them. And a lot of people in the comments immediately were like, yeah, driving in heels can be dangerous. Which is true, it seems, but also maybe not necessarily. I don't really know. But, dude, I don't know how you define car, but I just think we have different definitions of car because I would call an SUV still a car. I'd call all of their electric versions because they had other cars that were electric and were cars. But I think it's just a misunderstanding of what you determine a car. I would call every single thing that they listed a car, but because it's not about sedan, it's about car. And their electric cars are still cars. That was a separate section on their website, but it had like a bunch of options. It had like 8 options of electric car. But if you define it different than me, that's fine. But I'm going to keep saying Ford has more than one car because it'd be weird to say that and ignore all the SUVs and like hatchbacks and crossovers because you define cars specifically as sedan. You should say sedan. I get that the website has car section, but I just would call them all cars. I feel like if I said to you, Ford only makes one car, and you went on their website and saw all these other options, you'd be like, no. I wouldn't feel like that's the most accurate way of defining car, but you do you. Because, like, the type of car you're talking about is a sedan, right? But I get the website has their own section that says car, but also they have electric car as a section that also has cars that are electric but are still cars. Sedan, if that's what we really specifically mean. But I think that's just getting too obsessed with the details. I wouldn't say it's accurate to say Ford only has one car. Just in general. It's not really the most accurate way of... It's getting too... Like, you're getting caught up on the, what's it? I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't feel the most accurate. It just feels like trying to be right. Like, trying to be really specific about it to be correct. But it's like, I wouldn't call saying one car and ignoring all the other SUVs car. You want to be technically correct, sure. But I wouldn't think of it that way. But it's fine it's fine, because it's not really a big deal. We aren't English majors here. I am. I was. And even I think that's like, what's it called? Semantics? What's that even mean? I feel like I've used that word a lot and I think I know what it means, but I've never looked up the definition. Yeah, it feels like it's, I don't know. It doesn't matter. It was really not a big thing. But I was an English major. Well, I was a lot of majors though. I changed it around a lot. I switched it up a lot of times, but I was an English major for a bit, just for a bit though. Yeah, no, I feel like this comment's reading into it too much. It sounds like so they don't have any personal experience driving in heels, but I feel like it's not unreasonable to think it would be dangerous without having experience. That's what everyone in the comments said, and even I was like, I don't know that that's dangerous because I haven't done it. I wouldn't have even said inherently immediately that it is, but definitely some people did because I could see why it also would. Further, you assume that the car accident she was in was caused by her and by her driving in heels. I maybe would have thought the same thing if I was like, you're driving in unsafe shoes possibly, and then an accident happened where you rear end someone, where a lot of the times the person who rear ends is in fault. Not all the time, but often. Further, you insist on it being your job to fix what you see as wrong with her. But he doesn't see something wrong with her. He just is scared that it's dangerous. But I guess I'm not reading that much out of this story. I feel like this is a little bit too much projecting on a story that we didn't get enough detail to decide that. I really feel like if he had an issue with his own height, we would have seen it be like brought up a couple extra times. But it's only just mentioned in passing at the beginning to explain why she's wearing heels all of the time. She's always in heels, not just for special occasions, but she's always in heels, and that's how she drives. That was just like context. I did not read that as being anything more, but a lot of people agreed with this top comment. You're the asshole. Women drive in heels all the time, and it really isn't an issue. I feel like you wouldn't have mentioned your height unless you had... I don't agree! I agree that I don't have experience with it, so I didn't immediately know if it really was a dangerous thing or not. I didn't even assume either way. I was like, I don't know. And I even said I could see it not being dangerous because if you don't rest your heel on the floor like I do, or I don't do, then it's all about your toes. It's all about the toes. But I just don't see him having an issue with his height. He just mentioned it. I don't think him mentioning it means he has just because he is short doesn't mean he has to have an issue with his height. I don't think he does. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Some people can run in heels. This is also true. I can't wear them at all. I would just trust her if she really feels that confident. And if an accident happened and it was because of her heels, I wouldn't make her feel bad about it. It seems like he's worried about it. But, you know what I mean? Everyone sucks here. Maybe I'll agree with this comment, because it does maybe seem like it's not. OP for being rude and condescending to his girlfriend, which I don't know, maybe a little. Girlfriend for driving in heels. All of you saying I do it all the time have been lucky so far. Everyone, I feel like it does add like a little baby extra risk that I wouldn't take it. Even if you think and you're confident in doing it, I feel like it is an added element of potential danger. And maybe nothing ever will go wrong, but I just wouldn't take it, like that risk. You know what I mean? Everyone's saying, but Mythbusters. Oh, did Mythbusters do this? Mythbusters busted it. I think maybe they did prove that it isn't more dangerous, but everyone saying Mythbusters, that's not an actual scientific source. I liked the show too, but it's just not the same as big safe driving organizations having done studies with hundreds of drivers. And even if Mythbusters were right, that wouldn't stop an insurance company from refusing a payout based on unsafe footwear. And then they sourced a bunch of things. It's also not good for your calf muscles long term, apparently. You're at a higher risk of muscle fatigue. I think that's what I also have the problem of, because I don't rest my heel and then my leg gets really tired from driving. Yeah, they linked a bunch of studies and sources, so maybe this guy did the work. I can't say for sure that it doesn't add a small level of extra added potential danger if you do it. And you might be fine doing it. You might be completely safe. You might never have an accident, but it might, I don't know. I just don't think it was that serious of a story that he has this big insecurity about his height. I think it just people assume that because he is short and mentioned it once. But I do think everyone sucks there. Maybe he did overstep by like if she's really insistent, just let her do her thing though. If she gets in an accident because of it, don't be like, I told you so. But meh. Let's read one more. I wouldn't do it. I think me personally, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't wear them, but I just don't wear them anyways because I can't walk in them. So obviously I'm not about to drive in them. Yeah, I think he's a short king, and I think people assumed he'd be insecure about it because he has a problem with his girlfriend's heels, and he is a short man. But I just did not, that was not the actual issue. I didn't see it as that being the issue at all. But I think people projected a little bit on that poor short king. Buying her shoes, you could say that was maybe an overstep. Just if she is insisting on driving in her shoes and says it's safe, I would just drop it at that point. But nah, I don't think it was even really that deep. And the accident wasn't her fault. Am I the asshole for telling my mom my baby isn't her do-over? That could be messy. That could be really messy. He's just offended that she wears heels. No, I wouldn't even say that. I don't think he's offended. He's worried about her safety. Maybe I'm being too naive that but I'm really good, I feel like, about picking up on, like, people do have hidden meanings, which I think is bullshit, first of all. But I feel like I've learned how to understand, like, I'm pretty good with my intuition. I wasn't getting that vibe from it, but I might be too naive and just taking it exactly as it was presented, which is that, hey, I have this girlfriend who wears heels all the time. And I think it might be not safe. I wouldn't say he was offended. But as passenger, always comply with the driver. Ooh, no. I'm not about to get in a car if I don't agree with the person driving at all. Because I have had people driving, like, they're comfortable going a certain speed over the speed limit that I'm not. I'm definitely not complying. I'm getting out. Drop me off. Get me out of this car. I'm going to put myself at risk if you're an irresponsible driver. That's definitely for sure. I'd say you comply when it's music choice. But if someone is an unsafe driver, I'm not getting in your car. You're comfortable going 10 over the speed, or 20, 50 over the speed limit, whatever it is, and like weaving a lot. Not my vibe. I'm not getting in your car. I want to read the do-over story, I think, because that could be fun. Oh, but this one also sounds like it could be really juicy and drama-filled. Am I the asshole for calling my girlfriend's mom a snake after she said I'll get tired of her and her son and I'll leave them eventually? That sounds like the right type of, I want a nice, juicy, messy one. If this is our last one, and that sounds good. That sounds good. Bro. A snake. Yeah, I feel like people impose insecurity on short men when they don't all have an insecurity about their height. But I feel like everyone just assumes that there has to be one underlying, but I don't think that's true. I think that short men are able to be secure and not be lying about it. Maybe that's where I'm like, I don't want to assume. You know what I mean? Okay. Am I the asshole for calling my girlfriend's mom a snake after she said I'll get tired of her and her son and I'll leave them eventually? That's a very mean thing to say. That's a very not nice thing to say. My girlfriend, female 35, and I, male 26, have been dating for over 2 years. I've already met her family and she's met mine. I don't like her mom nearly as much as she doesn't like... I don't like her mom nearly as much as she doesn't like me. My girlfriend is divorced and has one son, 9. His dad is around, but he's kind of a dick, so not even the kid likes him. However, I do have a great relationship with him. He calls his father dad, and lately he started calling me daddy because I'm younger. That's literally his reasoning. It's a 9-year-old, so that's not even like that little to have made his own reasoning. He also was the one to start calling me like that. Neither my girlfriend or I pushed him to do it. We also don't live together yet, but I stay over most nights. Her mom came to visit them. I was already there when she came, so I didn't leave. Usually if she calls before, I would leave before she gets here. She stayed over for dinner. While we were eating, my stepson said, "Daddy, can you please give me juice?" and handed me his glass. I served him, and that could have been all, but of course the snake spoke. She asked him, since when did he call me daddy? He said that there's a lot of mistyping. There's a lot of misspelling. So I'm picking up not English speaking first language. So I have to really quick readjust the sentences. He said that he doesn't know, but he likes to call me that because I'm a good dad for him and I'm younger than his other dad. She turned to my girlfriend and told her that she shouldn't encourage my relationship with her son that much because I'm just a temporary fix and I'll leave them eventually. In front of him? In front of the kid? Hey, if you think it, but keep it don't say it out loud. Definitely not in front of the kid either. Oh. What the fuck? Who says something like that in front of me? Also that. But especially in front of the kid. He asked me if I was really going to leave. Why would that's so nasty? Ugh. We've read a lot about nasty mother-in-laws. And they're not married, but like... He asked me if I was really going to leave them. I told him that I was not. And that his grandmother just likes to lie. Don't let the kid be involved in this. If you're petty and you don't like the boyfriend, you just think that they're there temporarily. And they've been there for 2 years. That's not nothing. That's a long time. Like maybe it won't work out, but damn, don't say that in front of the kid and now make this kid be a part of this complicated situation of like, are you going to leave? And it's like, realistically, I mean, maybe, but you can't say that to them. And that's not nice. Not a nice situation to put everyone in. She started an argument. She said that she was only saying the truth and that someday I'll get tired of playing the little family and I'll leave them both. That's cruel for them to just pretend like I'll stay, but he might stay. He stayed for 2 years and is comfortable with this child calling him daddy. He's completely comfortable in his role in this person's life. How do you know they won't stay? Nobody knows. And also, if they didn't stay, you can't immediately be like, you can't say stuff like that, man. I told her she's a snake that only wants to bitch about everything. Then my girlfriend asked her mom to leave. Ooh, at least she's on your side because we've seen the daughter or son of the mother who's the problem take the mother's side. And it's like, aw. This happened yesterday. Today I was talking with my boss and he told me I should have just ignored her and that I probably did things worse. No, because then the kid was right there and then was like, are you really going to leave? That was so fucked up to put that kid in that, like, make that whole thing be a situation like that. After talking with him and another coworker, I kind of feel bad for blowing up on her. No. This was her who was the problem. She's the problem. She's the problem. It's her. The mother-in-law is projecting fear. And if she really, I mean, she's allowed to think it. Like, you can't stop the woman from thinking that might happen. Don't say it to the child involved, because they're also 9. They can't really understand the nuance and complexity of, like, maybe he does leave. Maybe it doesn't work out, because maybe they aren't a right fit. And if it isn't a right fit, they shouldn't stay. But that's a lot to put a child suddenly in the middle of. And also to even say it in front of the boyfriend at all in the first place. Like, she's allowed to say that to her daughter if she really thinks it, but then I would also hope her daughter would put her in her place, because it's also just a nasty thing. Even if I go with the assumption that she's just concerned for her daughter and grandson, it is a very a-hole-ish thing to say in front of the kid. You stood up for your relationship and the kid, and I think that the kid needed to see that, because otherwise that just planted a seed of, oh no, he's gonna leave one day. Which isn't fair. Well, this might make things worse right now. In the long run, it is necessary to put people in their place. That's what I said. I'm sorry, but what kind of grandmother says that kind of shit to a kid? She knows full well that it's going to traumatize him. Yes, she is a snake. She just planted something that didn't need to be there. And, like, you deal with it. If down the road you do decide, like, hey, this isn't the right place for me to be. This isn't the right relationship for me to be in. We aren't a good fit. It will be better for everyone in the long run if we go find the people that we're better suited for, and especially for the kid. And that can be explained to them then. That's a bridge you cross when you get to it. This just added unnecessary fear. I could not imagine that this 9-year-old is going to forget that this was said, and they're always going to be thinking about it now and being like, he might leave one day. That's a burden now that this child didn't need to have. Oh, somebody said that was a battle your girlfriend should fight, not you. The girlfriend took his side, though. She asked her mom to leave, at least. Honestly, I wouldn't even blame the girlfriend for not standing up for you, because you might have just stood up first. You might have just gotten there quicker than her. But she did take your side, and she asked the mom to leave, which was a good move. She's on your side. From this point forward, your girlfriend should talk to her mom and be like, you can't say stuff like that in my house. You can't say stuff like that around my son. There is definitely a part that the girlfriend should play in this situation now. But I wouldn't say this person said it was a battle your girlfriend should have fought, not you. I think he just stood up right in the moment when it happened, probably. The nails aren't white, but I could see that they look very white. They're actually a very light blue, similar to this shirt. I wanted them to be a little bit more obviously blue, but they are coming out white very much, especially with the light in my room right now. Snake is a little bit nasty, but honestly, just did she have it coming? A little bit. She said a really awful thing. That's like something you can't fix immediately with the 9-year-old that now is just burdened with this thought. That might stay forever until... Forever? Maybe? I don't know. Not the asshole. She is a snake and she should be ashamed of herself. Not the asshole. It's a girlfriend's choice how she wants to handle you around her child. The mom can say what she wants. I don't even think she can say what she wants. She can think what she wants. But she can't be saying it in front of the kid. At the very least. No class, no tact, audacity, and judgment. Yeah. Okay. I didn't think I was going to agree with that one. Like that woman. Ooh, kids remember really well, especially at 9. That's like, they can't sit with that thought and understand it in its like full complexity. Because you could sit there as an adult and argue, it might be true. He might leave one day. But like, that's not for the 9-year-old to be worried about right now. And it probably will stick with him. Sad for him. I hate why is it such a thing that so many people get into a family and the mother-in-law is just nasty? What's up with that? So many nasty mother-in-laws out there. Not even an in-law yet, but they're definitely about to be like a monster-in-law situation if they do stay. Which, like, 2 years with a person who has a son that you seem to be so involved in their life that they're willing to call you daddy, like, comfortably, and no one thinks there's any issue with it except for the mom, the grandma. That's not nothing. That's like, I wouldn't take that lightly at all from the guy in the situation choosing to stay in this relationship, be an active part of this person's life. You don't do that without taking it seriously, I feel like. Maybe give him the benefit of the doubt a little bit because, I mean, he's doing the work right now. He's not showing any signs of not doing it or being uncomfortable with that part he's playing in that person's life. I don't know. Weird. Weird, I'd say. But that's all the Am I the Asshole I'm going to read today. I'm going to go shop for cars. I'm going to go look over the cars to shop for. I will may or may not be live tomorrow. I won't know till tomorrow because I might do an early in the day one. Or I might opt for streaming Sunday instead. But I'm also doing something Sunday afternoon. So it'll either be tomorrow afternoon, early afternoon, like noon, or Sunday evening, I feel like are my two options right now. I'll probably do a quick one tomorrow. Maybe I'll do what I was going to do on Witchcraft today. I want to go in the end and just go mining for gobber, or because I went mining last night on my own. Why does this happen to me? Why does this always happen to me? Yeah, we might go mining. So that might be, maybe. Sorry, the weekend's always up in the air kind of thing until I know what the plans are, but I'll at least see you either Saturday or Sunday. And thanks for hanging out today. And I think I'm caught up on reading all the subs. Kilu, I think you were the last one. Thank you for the Prime. I don't even know if I didn't read that one because that was a while ago, so I might have. Wait, I think this stopped giving me the subs actually at some point. I think it froze. So if I missed your sub, I'm sorry. But let me go get the hugs that I'm sure I have missed. Benji, I see you. Get in here. Thank you for being here. Let me get the others. I don't know at what point the music stopped. I didn't want to have to put my headphones on today because it gives a weird bump in my hair that I don't have to go fix. Charcoal, Cherry Bomb. You two also get in here. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. Everyone who came here and just watched and hanging out. Even if you're not subbed, didn't send any bits, none of that. Appreciate you being here at all. Feel free to drop a follow. It's free. Appreciate it. That's it. I love how your hair fits the palette of your backdrop. Honestly, same. I'm so part of the vibe in this room. It got too bright in here. I'm a fan. I do kind of want more light blue in my room now. I'm obsessed with this color because it just looks so nice with the orange. So I just keep buying clothes in this color. I have a bunch of clothes that I've just bought in this color. That's my color now. But I don't have any of it in this room. I love this chair though. This was a good buy, I think, so far. It's not any less comfortable than the other chair I already had, but it has a leg rest, and I love that. Oh yeah, I got Bread Cat. Orange and blue are like my new favorites, right? Or peachy really is my favorite. This shade blue, peachy, orangey, pink, and yellow. Those are my top 3. And mint, top 4. I can't ever pick one. Big Golden Jet, thank you for the 500 bits. Appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna send you guys away. Let me go. Let me send you somewhere. Let me send you off. Gucky's playing Unpacking. I don't know if she has ever played it before, but I love that game. I wish they were going to make more. I don't think they are. I think they said they aren't going to, which is so sad. But that is such a good game if you haven't ever watched anyone play it. I have a VOD of it on my VOD channel that has almost 1 million views, which I thought was unbelievable. I think just people really love watching people play this game. So go watch, go be so nice. It is such a sweet, lovely, wholesome little game. Such a good vibe to go join. So be so nice. Be so lovely. Appreciate you being here. It's a big comfort. That's why I really need to get caught up on all my VODs, because some of them sometimes people really love going back and watching, and I cannot believe that video has almost 1 million views. I don't have very many videos that have that many views. And a VOD of all things, people love this game. If you haven't seen it, go. It's good. Real good. And I'll see you guys sometime this weekend. Goodbye.